assaulting the drow place, which I think you at least know that we did that.
I saw. I'll tell you where I finished off and you guys started. We had planned a general flow of attack in the many rooms of death of the drow place.
Yes, and as it turns out, we executed that plan.
Yeah, all we had done so far is kill the spiders before.
Yes.
Yeah, we killed the spiders, then we killed a bunch of drow and what were those big things called? I don't remember. Like the thing that...
spiders?
Oh yeah, there were more spiders as well.
Driders?
I think there was a drider as well.
Riders, Wergar, there were orcs and ogres.
Yeah. Bunch of things. But
Quaggos.
most quaggos, that was the word. But most notably, we found what's his face? Oh god, I forgot his name already. Rond was there as a raid leader, but he was a total pushover and ran away when he spotted us, basically.
Please say you killed him.
Well, I'll get to that in a moment.
All right.
Anyways, we fought him and his... Well, we didn't fight him. We fought his orc buddies, and there was, like, trolls or giants or whatever. I think trolls?
Ogres.
Ogres, even. Yeah, something big. 2 of those. We killed those. Eventually, we met another group of drow, some sort of... including the guy who helped us escape out of prison at the very beginning. Like the drow lieutenant or whatever he was.
And I believe the priestess who was watching over us until we got into the destination.
Yes, and the priestess. And they were basically like, hey, how about we just let you go and you don't kill us? And we were like, okay. And talked with them a bit about random stuff. Turns out the drow guy has decided he'll go to Mental Dareth, and, maybe we'll meet him again. Probably will. The priestess, I'm not sure about. She was very quiet and unhappy with the situation, I'm pretty sure. But we let them leave, basically. And then we did, in fact, deal with Rond. Because Liam was very upset. It was even the first time that Cinder spoke, which Cinder's first sentence was, kill the orc. So,
yes.
Because Liam taught him all about orc hating, apparently. Like, Gesh talked to Rond a bit, basically going like, hey, you're a total douche, but surely you could have changed. But Gesh wasn't entirely sure what he was trying to get to either, so he's just sort of eventually shrugged and let Cinder and Liam do their thing. And Rond is no more. He got roasted by Cinder.
You tried to save Rond, but he kept just trying to suck up to you and not actually giving the answers that he was supposed to have given.
I mean, a little of both, but in the end, Rond was just a huge bully.
So, and then we had to go. One of the things we had to do was also, of course, actually fight the matriarch down there, who was the fortress themselves, who had all of these huge minions lined up in their areas. We kind of went in, and me and Liam just teleported and cut them to pieces.
Yeah. I think I actually successfully counterspelled something of hers.
You did.
Even.
I believe you did.
Nice.
She tried to cast a spell which got counterspelled, and then she got murdered. So that was a good fight.
Yeah, I murdered. Liam murdered. It was glorious. And then everyone else ran away because we killed their matriarch.
Well, yeah,
turn 2 or turn 1.
Yeah, we were pretty effective. And after that, with the drow tunnels defeated, it was pretty much a straight shot to the surface, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which we appeared. I don't have a map available here, but we appeared way north of I don't know. If I have a map, I could show you.
Hang on, I'll put one up on the stream. I just need...
It was near Neverwinter and Waterdeep kind of area, right?
I just need
a bit further north.
Yeah, it was north of them, but it was that kind of general region.
I mean, the exact spot doesn't really matter in the end, but then we were like, what do we do now? And people had different ideas, like talking to people and doing their own quests.
I mean, everyone had things they wanted to do.
Yeah. And the end result was basically, hey, you've got a couple months to do things, and then who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
I believe that Riordan, Liam, and Gesh, and Cinder for that matter, were going to stick together for a bit.
It was actually going to be originally it was going to be Roland and Riordan went off to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Basically, how it went down was everyone sort of had their own thing, but turns out that everyone but Serilla are going to Neverwinter. So they might as well stick together. While Serilla decided that she wanted to go to the high forest with Darendil to find the hidden elven kingdom of Nelrindenvane. Bring him back. Then she said she wanted to use his connections to go and confront her own family.
Yeah.
And try to impress Silvery Moon.
And if I remember, the hidden kingdom of Dorindane is north. I need to get the map up so I can actually see it. I remember it and
It's
stuff.
to the south, in the high wood.
Yes, south in the high wood. Christ, that's like roof. It's the high wood. Yeah, or high. Yeah. Oh my God, it's such a big area. It's massive. It's hard to.
I know very little about it because I don't know much about it. I actually need to learn more about the setting.
Do you? So you don't know much about the Sword Coast?
Not as much as I'd like.
Let me tell you. I know pretty much.
There you
Big map. Oh yeah, big map. Okay. So when that loads.
High forest.
Right now I'm just loading because it's
Yeah, of
it's
course.
4 megabytes.
I will draw a pop though. Then you can. You came out
It's missing for me still. I can't see.
like here.
It might still be loading.
Well,
You
it
went
did-
there.
The question mark appeared and then disappeared.
Yeah, my question mark appeared and disappeared as well. But
Oh, there we are. All right. Sorry. Okay.
And most of the party are gonna
What's
go
that?
something.
Oh, okay. We appeared where?
While
In the hills.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
went out to the road, and then there you sort of split, and you're gonna go like so, presumably to go do something in here.
Oh, in the high forest.
After which
okay.
you wanted to go up there, yeah.
Yes, because Silvery Moon is literally just there, so that's great. Yeah.
And
So
the idea was that that you could sort of meet up at some point, because Serilla does have her ability to sending.
yes, I have sending. I can sending many times because. Oh, actually, I can only do it.
I mean, it doesn't frankly matter.
5 times.
On the servers, you have plenty of time to rest. So
Yeah.
that's no problem.
Yeah, exactly. I can do it 5 times a day, no problem. So long as I don't cast any high level spells.
Yeah, so you can head off to the high forest while we in kind of our pairs head off to Neverwinter, or 2 pairs.
Yes. I mean, I imagine
Me,
you're going to be
Jordan, and
together
Gash.
until you get to Neverwinter anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Just me and Riordan have our own things we want to do, and Gash and Liam sound like they've got their things they want to do.
Yeah. But Cerilla's going to go and find an ancient kingdom in the middle of the forest where she feels at home. Because being a wood elf,
I don't. Oh, she's wood elf.
she's a wood elf. Yeah.
She is the wood elf. It's true.
She's a wood elf
Mm.
and follows
Yeah,
my Leaky. as well.
Roland was the high elf, but he had very little connection to his elven heritage. Is
Yeah.
what it was.
And as we all know, my Leaky is the forest queen. So she
Everyone has a look at that big map. I'll just remove it. It takes a lot of room.
it does take a lot of.
Goodbye, 4 megabyte.
So Serilla is literally loves forests and is why part of that is because her family lives in the forest of or lives by the forest at the very least, because that's kind of where Silvery Moon is right by a forest. So, you know, it's perfect for her. And going into the high forest is a big deal. It's a real big deal.
Silvery Moon is certainly a place of wood, but it is not a deep forest place. It is a place of a lot of also high elves.
Yeah.
Her estate is probably to the south of the actual city. The city being massive and certainly what you would call the wonder of the world. It is said that it really just the reason there's so many inhabitants is because a lot of the people who come there don't ever want to leave. It is a place of just serene beauty and all that is really good and peaceful and quiet and just goodly, really. Because nobody really wants to leave, it also has a very large population of really all sorts of races. As long as they have a goodly disposition, they generally do pretty well there. It's very metropolitan. A lot of like big research and knowledge are kept there. And generally, it's like one of the genuinely good cities and places you will find. There is not a lot of like dark things going on. Sure, the nobles, however, there's always a downside, is that the nobles are elves, and also really, really old elves. So whenever they have to make any decision, they usually take like decades to do it. And so nothing really ever happens
It's stagnant.
it's a wonderful place, but it doesn't really go out and do a whole lot because, well, it takes forever to do something, so the problem usually sort of solves itself by the time, that they actually want to do something.
Yeah.
It is, however, a base for people like the Harpers, who are much more fast-paced and go and do things by themselves. And then for them, it is an excellent base of operations. Yeah. There's sort of some woods close to Silvery Moon, where I imagine Cirilla's home estate.
Yeah. A manor.
Probably
Beautiful manor. Some grounds.
big, open, like Rivendell style. Like everyone wearing loose, like elven, like clothes and
Yeah.
drinking wine and laying on pillows and stuff. Elven stuff.
Oh, of course, yeah. Like flute music.
Yeah.
Imitates birds chirping in the forest. It's beautiful. Serene.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to live anywhere else?
Silvery Moon used to be a part of a large conglomerate called Luroar, but it broke down a few hundred years ago as a massive invasion of orcs. Destroyed and killed a lot of people, even threatening the city itself, though heroes saved it from destruction. They fled into the Evermoors. And there's still the occasional raid. Such. Beyond that, drow, a problem. The south, the High Forest. Does Serilla know much about the High Forest?
I imagine that she
Like
knows.
A role, maybe, or a nature even.
Oh yeah, a what or a nature?
History or nature.
Yeah, history on nature. Let me check. We'll do a history. She's a well.
She's heard of it.
You were raised in a noble family, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly. She was taught things, but not about the High Forest. Supposedly.
Not about the history of the High Forest.
It's a big forest. There's trees and stuff.
I could try the nature of
she
the
knows
forest.
like that there's like some wood elves in there, and probably like there's also a lot of like tribespeople that live in there. Generally, it's a wild, uncivilized place.
She knows
there
even
are
less.
fae and like centaurs and minotaurs, whatever shit she could imagine is probably in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With those kinds of roles,
Not much.
it doesn't.
Not much.
She knows rumors over facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. People say there's a lot of old stuff in it. Some say trees can talk. Who knows? Who knows,
stuff.
really? She
Yeah.
doesn't.
She was busy doing other
Darendil,
stuff.
the prince, is a positive. Looking at everything around him, so bright eyes. He's especially been looking at the sun, just like as you travel along the roads, just like reminiscing that it just, after being in the Underdark for so long, it seems so bright and new and beautiful.
It's grand.
The trees, the grass, all these things are just, he goes over, like touches the bark and is like, yes, we did it.
Yeah. I
Here.
think Cirilla's
Like
a
experiencing the world the whole time again.
Yeah. I
How's
imagine.
Serilla dealing? Basically, he's very positive in the travels here.
I imagine Serilla is equally as positive. Loves like normal dirt and grass under her feet, and trees.
You don't miss the mushrooms?
Cycle.
Sorry?
You don't miss all these you don't miss all the mushrooms about?
No, God, no. What were you saying?
You have real food in the towns you visit on your way to the wood.
I know. And people give me nice rooms that, aren't, like, underground.
You crouch down in them.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Arendelle does get weird looks, though. Big, hairy, like, creature.
Yeah, but I imagine
The
that.
manners of an elf, and it's a strange sight.
I imagine we don't get
But
too
he's also
much.
big and scary, so.
Yeah, and I mean,
Take their kids away from him, but they don't, like,
of course.
harass him.
Uh-huh. I can understand that.
He doesn't seem too bothered by it, really. Yeah, you travel for a few weeks, getting to the high forest, and really, like, there's not much more to say about that. The travel goes fairly easily and without much really issue or trouble at all. And it seems like, I mean, the people here are willing to direct you. It's sort of just following the road and going east.
Okay.
It's not a huge problem. When you get to the forest, it sort of starts by having smaller groves and such, and you move, and you can sort of see it in the distance. Sort of think Lord of the Rings like Fangorn, right? There's like suddenly just changes the style of the land into this foresty terrain. Right? Everything is like gnarly, and the trees are massive and old, and there's songbirds singing everywhere, and sort of. It's clearly an old forest, but it doesn't seem particularly threatening. No?
That's always a good sign.
Like, you might expect it to be like, oh no, there's like dark things going on in there, but it really doesn't. There really isn't that much of a bad feeling going on.
I mean, I like that. I'm happy about that.
Here. One's updated, yeah?
Sorry?
The token here is updated, right?
The one, yes. That is the updated one.
Still, like,
It has 8 hit
1.
dice, so I imagine it's updated.
Yep, it is updated.
Well, you never know, you know.
I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check the macros, but nope, macros aren't right. But that's fine, because
You know what? I can just take the other one.
well, you could do that. I've also got the saved token that has macros and stuff on it.
Go to the gauntlet and grab that one.
Okay.
Should I mean,
Let's heal that.
Gesh is away. Gesh is back.
Because this should be.
I actually realised the roll on here is actually surprisingly not the right one either.
Nope. Tut.
I can get roll.
Ooh,
Should get to be here.
I'm so happy. Me and Darendale having a great time. And
The forest is bright and open. Little brooks running here and there, feeding it. You can sort of, as you go, you see like birds flying around, and like you can hear the rustle of animals of different kinds. How do you like rest? Do you just sleep on the ground when you get into the forest? It's gonna take a few days of travel. As Darendil says, it is a hidden kingdom, and he's never had to find it before. So he's not really sure where to go, but he imagines that something will. He is of the blood and everything.
I mean, yeah, of course. Floors in forests aren't the greatest idea. Generally, a branch that's accessible, that's above the ground, is always a more appreciated option.
I mean, there are lots of huge branches and such.
Yeah.
Though given her armor and such, it probably gets very uncomfortable to sleep in a tree.
Undoubtedly, but she would rather take a bit of uncomfort, seeing as she's just spent months in the Underdark, over sleeping on the ground where, snakes and other poisonous creatures are crawling around. You know.
You do certainly know, like, go past a cave that has like bear fur dropped on nearby trees where some bear has scratched itself. And there certainly seems to be like creatures in here. You at some point find like tracks that seem to be from hooves, probably then taught.
Honestly, after all the creatures we've dealt with poison, a snake's really the biggest concern.
Could you try to do some survival?
I can certainly do that. Yeah.
Because we gotta see how well you can find your way into the forest. Oh, you do good.
Yeah.
You don't even like with that. You can even hunt for food and like keep yourself fed in here.
She is
Gather like berries and stuff.
You know, she is a wood elf. She is made for this.
Yeah. Does she get like willful like now that she's just alone with Darendil? He sleeps on the ground though, considering like he doesn't feel like his current form is that good at climbing stuff.
I can understand.
He's got like big claws and such. It's not as good as at fine maneuvering. But he also looks big and scary, like bear-like. So
I mean that helps.
Bother him too much.
Yeah. No, I mean Serilla's.
He also seems not that good at like figuring out what's edible and such. It seems like he's, at least as he said it, he's never really had to.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that. Yeah.
So he doesn't really know like what kind of berries these are, or anything like that.
I mean,
at least he doesn't remember.
These are blueberries. They're good for you. They're fine. You can tell because they look black.
Good. So traveling like this, basically going into the forest, is there anything particular you'll try to do, like differently than normal? Try to find the hidden kingdom of Melrin?
Well, most forests have game trails. It's a usual thing in between, where herds tend to move from water point to water point, or from grazing areas to water. Typical game trails. I imagine that she isn't looking to follow just any game trail. She's looking to follow perhaps one that's not so heavily tread. You know, there's the highways of forest where you can easily walk through, but then there's the ones that branch off and go further into the forest that don't look like they're quite being used as often, but could have easily been walked by, like a spry elf, maybe.
All right. So basically, she's trying to track. We can let your 18 there be the guide for that as well. Like,
okay, yeah, works.
Same times before you're doing. Would you roll me a d10?
Yeah.
You run across 10 angry bears.
Hopefully, only 2.
You really could take a bear.
I could take a bear. I could take 2.
There we go. But okay. Well, as you travel here, basically it takes a long time before anything happens. Like, we're not talking days here. We're talking like maybe like a 10-day, like equivalent of like more than a week, like maybe even like 5 days after that, of just going east in the forest. This is a massive forest, absolutely massive, and it's taking a long time for her to get in here. It's like she knows where she wants to go, but it's almost as if the forest is sort of leading her on a merry chase.
Okay.
Like sometimes it feels like she's passing the same features a little bit further up, but when she tries to go back, it doesn't really make sense. It's not the same place. Like, she's good at tracking things right now, but it seems like this forest is so big, or either it just looks the same, that it's hard to find her way to anything. Things seem to move or just not be in logical places.
Okay.
Sometimes the trees, like when she slept, a nearby tree seems to have turned around, or have moved somehow to either shield her from the rain or like move away from her. She never sees them do it, but it's as if everything here is alive and if everything is watching, listening to her conversations. How does she react to this, like, weird feeling of everything, well, being conscious of her and aware of her?
I mean, it's a case that she grew up obviously being told that some really old trees are, can think and watch over all their children of the forest, but so many, it's not quite unsettling, but it doesn't sit perfectly fine with her. She's weary about it, but it's not like she's gonna be nervous and twitchy about trees are following her or something like that. She's still at home. She's in a forest. She's happy with how she or where she is. It's just odd. She'll probably keep an eye on it and have it consciously in her mind, but she won't let it take away from the fact that she's on the surface. She's surrounded by greenery.
So she keeps her spirit high.
Yeah, I mean, she's in her sort of area. It's perfect for her. Even her own goddess would roam a forest like this. Or she likes to think.
One of these days, however, it is sort of beginning to get a little bit rainy and blowing. Now, the forest sort of roof here is very high up and very, very tight, really. Most of the light that comes down to the bottom is green and such.
Mm-hmm.
However, it is sort of that windy, sort of unpleasant cold and such.
Yeah.
And she's just sort of traveling. Darendil has gotten a little quiet. At this point, he's getting a little frustrated that he can't, he doesn't know how to find this place. He feels like he's so close, but he just can't, he doesn't know. He feels like he should have been told, or, maybe he's been told, but he can't remember, and it's frustrating him, clearly.
Yeah.
And you're just trudging along again, seemingly getting nowhere.
Okay.
Well, at least nowhere recognizable.
Okay.
When in the distance, you sort of see a light, a glade, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And as you travel or walk there, perhaps thinking that there might be water or game trail or something, you see that there is indeed a pond of water gathering, perhaps a rain pond that fills after the constant rain of the last few days. But drinking there stands a sort of pearly white horse with a bright horn in the middle of its head. A unicorn. Doesn't seem to have noticed her. Standing there drinking peacefully.
That's incredible. I think so we're at the edge of the clearing?
Yeah.
Okay. I think
Erendil is very good at moving quietly.
Yeah. I think
He's a good animal.
I think that Serilla will ask him to just wait here as as she will discard. Oh no, she won't. No, she won't. Oh man, part of me wants to discard all weapons and everything and just go move towards it. It's a very Serilla thing to try and do. So I think she will leave her armor, sword and shield with Darendil. Mm-hmm. Taking it off as quietly as she can. As quickly as she can at the same time. And then she'll very slowly and very... not very quietly, but quiet. Slowly approach the water out in the open, and then maybe slowly creep towards the unicorn with a holy symbol on her necklace out in the open.
Is she trying to be stealthy, or
No, I don't think she wants.
What's her intention here?
She wants to get close to the unicorn. Maybe even interact with the unicorn. But she doesn't want to spook it. She doesn't want to just appear there and then, she wants it to feel safe with her because she just wants to love it and care for it and be its best friend.
She moves close to it. It sort of, stops drinking and moves its head up.
Huh.
Shakes it a little bit, looking at her, looking at the symbol. Its eyes sort of almost like the Dark Knight with the moon shining in the middle. Fur and mane glistening, silvery color. It stomps and scrapes a little bit. Then it turns around and takes a few more steps into the forest before looking back at her.
Okay, alright. Cyril, look behind her to Darendil, and then point it.
Full of her armor.
Sorry?
He's got his arms full of her armor.
Yeah. She'll, point at Darendil, and then look at the unicorn and, gesture that he comes with, like a question.
It just continues looking before looking away and then walking. Slow
Sure.
enough that she can...
Okay, she'll, gesture at Darendil to follow.
He'll nod and go. Careful not to spook it.
Yeah, and she'll start putting pieces of put a sword on a belt and put some armor on just in case. But
as it goes, the unicorn sort of gradually looks back, but as it moves, it begins to move faster.
okay,
And soon it becomes difficult to keep up with it. The trek basically continues for a day. At some point, you're getting too tired to continue. Seemingly, however, the unicorn sort of stays far enough away that you can't really see it, but you can almost sense its presence while you rest. Until the next day, when you continue following it, it's sort of staying ahead of you to the point where it's almost hard to keep track of where it's gone.
okay, interesting.
This continues for 3 days. Basically hustling to try to keep up with this unicorn.
Yeah.
It never really getting close to you. Never really as close as it was at the lake.
Mm-hmm.
On the 3rd day, you can't keep up. It simply moves too fast, winding through, almost like it hasn't even moved through the ground, through the dirt, as if it's just sort of flown like ahead. It hasn't disturbed any of the bushes or anything, but you run, you hustle, and in the end it doesn't. You can't keep up.
Interesting. But it centers in a direction, presumably.
Oh, yeah.
In which case, I do wonder. Don't know.
Basically, you've probably been running, trying to keep up before. Just, I don't know how far she would push herself. Probably very far.
Okay. I mean,
collapse.
I do have a thing that I could still track it if I wanted to, so long as it's within 1,000 feet of me.
Yeah.
So she'll give that a try. She can rest for 10 minutes, a short rest, right?
Yeah.
That's only 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Short rest an hour.
Is it an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's 10 minutes and stuff, kind of.
Man.
These 20 systems.
Oh man, she could try it anyway. Why not? Have an hour-long break. Changing one of her spell slots to her banishment spell slot.
As she sits down and takes her break, I imagine she's breathing a little bit. Maybe saying a few prayers.
Oh yeah. She's praying, changing her spells and everything.
She notices that someone is looking at her.
Okay.
On a nearby stump, almost as if he wasn't there to begin with, but now he is, sits an old man.
Huh.
Sort of watching her, his feet dangling, bare and very gnarly. Like they're not well taken care of feet. He's got sort of a long, wide beard, almost bald, and in his sort of hair and beard, there's full of like leaves and acorns and stuff. You're pretty sure that there's like some sort of forest critter on his body at some point, but he's sort of covered scantily by like some ripped robes, such. Also seemingly like full of like all sorts of weird forestry stuff.
I mean, sure.
Watching the two of you. Well, it seems that this should be the first time in many years an elf and a quaggoth have gotten along.
Cyril smile and say, "It's a funny story, really. This Quaggoth used to be an elf as well."
I am Prince Terendil of the hidden kingdom of Nelrindenvane. The says, "Oh, well, is that why you're here? Why did you decide to become a quaggoth?" Takes it and says, "I was transformed by the drow when they captured me. My family is well, it's a long story. Safe to say, I wish to return home. I'm sure they will be shocked to find me alive." Just the old man sort of just nods. Well, it seems like you're going somewhere. I don't think the place you're going to is Nelrindenvane.
Sort of quirks her head. And I'll say, "Then where are we going?"
You are simply going in circles, further into the forest, then out again. You were following something, someone, but this forest has many signs and many journeys that are not meant to be undertaken just now.
Serilla nods and says, "Yeah, we were following a unicorn. We struggled to keep up and it abandoned us. Perhaps here for a
Perhaps
reason."
you were not ready.
She nods and says, "I can understand that. Hopefully through our trials and tribulations, though, we will be ready to find the hidden kingdom."
He sort of looks at you for a long moment. I might be able to help you with that. If you would do something for me in return.
She nods and says, "I'm sure that I can do many things."
Your symbol appears that you are a servant of my leaking. An elf at that. I have something that you might be able to do, though. There are only two of you.
Serilla nods and says, "Sadly, the rest of my companions are heading to Neverwinter. It would just be the two of us. But together, I think we could do a lot of things."
Yes, I would not want to. It is dangerous, your child. I would just send you alone. Sidit looks around. So where are they? Where are they? He sort of just like whistles. Just, come out. Well, I mean, really, I brought you here for a reason, and now you're not here. Well, what does come out?
Nothing.
With slow trodden steps coming through coming through the bushes of the forest. A light begins to pierce. As out first emerges a set of antlers, and then, fully emerging out of the bushlands, is a tall and proud-looking deer with glowing horns, radiating light in a circle around them. Yeah, you may have called me here, but the purpose has always remained a mystery. It slowly walks down towards the water.
And sitting on top of the approaching figure of the deer, sitting a bright red bird, twitching about, looking left and right. Alternatively, like focusing one eye on Darendil and then another. She says, "That other one looks weird. You didn't warn us of that. Of course we're here because you called us, but he looks weird."
Do not judge.
The bird flutters a bit.
Looks to the deer and the bird and says, "Ah, he's a prince, you. At least he says so. So they're looking for Nilrind in vain, can you believe?
Oh, really?
I doubt their search has gone well so far.
I think that they will do great to help you. Then perhaps," looks at Serilla and says, I can help you afterwards. Really, this is going to be a tremendous journey. Serilla and Darendil, meet Icarus and Elmel. Gesturing to them. Elmel and Icarus, meet Serilla and Darendil.
The weird one must be Serilla then.
Serilla will smile and then we'll sort of like bow her head in respect, and we'll say, "I think my companions would call me a bit strange, yes."
No.
I'm sure it is a pleasure. It is a pleasure to meet you, I'm sure.
He looks now it's been long enough. Come on, everyone. I suppose that'll be introductions. I shall wait. Looks around. Over there, and points to like a mossy big rock. While you take care of this. I am far too old to do with these things anymore.
It may help if you inform those two what we're doing.
No, yes, of course. There is unpleasant folk. You see, I am doing a favor for the Emerald Enclave. They've asked me to find some people to take care of a problem. This forest is ancient, and it has expanded over time. It covers many places that were once not of interest. As such, many things are beneath the roots. Some people think this is a great opportunity to go and dig them out, but in this forest, things belong to it. But they are not happy. There are people of my profession who see this as progress, who wish to take the secrets of the forest and use them against, well, the cities to the north most likely. I would ask that you go there and remove whatever taint or foul business is going on. You will know it in the south. There is a clearing with an old tree, dead now, though it once stood and bore many fruits for the animal.
Serilla will nod. And I would say, and what do you think we'll expect there? People?
Dark things. Corrupted creatures. People, most likely. Animals themselves do not do such evil. You seem familiar. You have the air of a Sylvan Ray.
She
Talks his long beard, finds an acorn.
She'll kind of tilt her head curiously and say, "You would be correct, but I've never travelled to the High Forest before."
Yes, no, not you. No, so it looks to the birds. I've taken too much time already. I'm going to my rock. We can speak more when you return.
The deer nods slightly, though a reduced movement, perhaps because Icarus is riding.
He gets startled regardless. As Elmo will slowly move over towards Serilla and Durandil.
Durandil looks at the animals. He generally likes animals.
He does have a way with animals, it's true.
No, sort of will say, well, I think you two should likely lead the way. As it turns out, we've been walking in circles.
I've never had that problem.
I imagine you fly in circles.
That's a different topic.
She's not.
I can lead us. It almost takes a moment though to look the two of you over. Both Serilla and Durandil. And it's a slightly perplexed look in some regards before heading off deeper. Debates. Well, it would be fast for a regular person, the movement, but for Serilla, it's a more comfortable speed.
Yeah, it's slightly faster than her, but she can keep up.
Elmo's not going at fulls. Elmo's not using all 50 feet of his movement at a time. He is leading two-legged people around.
You know, what most people would find as sprinting, we can jog.
Durandil is struggling to keep up, mumbling something about these the like muscular legs being not as lithe as you remember himself.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
Is Icarus continuing to ride among my head?
Oh yeah. Occasionally, like doing the bird thing of like staring at something with one eye very intently before twitching to stare at something else.
The entire Elmo is continuing having his antlers release a gentle glow in the area.
Meanwhile, Serilla looks awful. She really does need to get some better looking armor. This carapace armor must look awful.
It's like a big beetle shell.
It's not flattering at all. Need to get some of that fancy mithril plate.
Godly expensive.
Oh yeah. She is a noble lady.
The deer is unimpressed.
She doesn't say it to you guys, obviously.
Still unimpressed.
She thinks it out loud.
How does Serilla feel about having two seemingly talking animals leading the way?
I mean, she just followed a unicorn to an old man. Honestly, this isn't the weirdest thing that's happened today. Or, in fact, in the last few weeks. So, she's just kind of going with it. You're not trying to kill her, so that's a plus.
Almost like a little bit of a dream, though, for Serilla right now.
Yeah, it's kind of... Yeah, like... She probably wouldn't be able to tell this at a party and people believe her. So, that's a bit of a shame.
A deer and a bird were bickering, leading the way for you.
The way is only about like 20 minutes of comfortable walking speed away. Perhaps accidentally, just right there. Before in the distance you can see the clearing, and certainly the animals amongst you, and maybe even Serilla too. Godly nature, in a sense, like the wrongness of it. As if the trees are sort of turned away to not be witness what happened in this place. Like there's no birds chirping, no other animals around really.
Serilla will frown deeply and say, "Yes, this place is corrupted."
Nope. Here.
Maybe it's mimes.
Mimes?
Mimes, evil mime.
What are you going on? What are you going on about, Icarus?
They are
Sensei.
From out.
What are these mimes you talk of?
They are people who don't talk and make funny faces at you, but really they are rude.
Seeing the big gnarly tree, its roots sort of ripped up a little bit even to reveal a passage below. Another thing, though, is someone ducking out of that passage, and another one standing a little bit further away, cutting some leaves, and seemingly using a skin full of fresh blood to pour it over them. The two sort of turn to you as you enter, clearing, as if sensing you. The one from under a tree, moving up a little rock. Rolled his eye. And you can see that they're red, bloodshot, as if basically the inside of him is just blooded blood. Or he a little bit dribbles out of his mouth. Beat. Guests, offerings, who sent you?
Serilla will sort of stride forward and say, "We've come to cleanse you from the destruction of this forest. You are not worthy to be here."
He smiles, and it's quite clear that his gums are bleeding, and like between his teeth, there's like a lot of like blood clot making them yellow. He just answers, "No, no, we have friends that you do not, elf. I think it is you who shall be cleansed." The other one, basically like takes out his sickle and cuts his own like wrist and sprays it on the ground. Before you hear like a strange rustling and moaning forest. Go into initiative.
At least they talk, so they're not mimes.
The strange customs you have picked up, Icarus.
As from the forest
Wow, we rolled terrible.
creatures.
Yeah, we did.
The northern ones seem to be vines that are sort of twisted and turned, again around what seems to be carcasses that they have sort of devoured and eaten, rising up and sort of moving towards you. From the south, you see similar things, though these have rocky protrusions and spiny long fingers full of needles. Seem to sort of be continuously growing. The two shadow druids sort of prepare their sickles, staffs, seemingly using the sickles more to sacrifice. Staffs to bludgeon you. The grove, as this happened, darkened, sort of a night dusk.
And we're definitely standing out then, being a beacon of light right now.
Out from the cave under the forest comes the dark mass, really. The shadow druid himself looks down upon you all, and well, he will You a spell.
Oh no, not a spell.
She produces a flame and throws it at, creating fire from his hand.
Well, it misses.
Flame.
Wow, it does miss.
Yes, he cackles, clearly not thinking you much of a threat. Viney creatures
I so hope these
slither.
are CR1 or below undead. Because it would look so
They don't appear to
badass.
be undead, they appear to be living plants.
Damn.
I mean, if they were, this would be highly entertaining, though.
It would be so good though, because they're like, she's no match, and then she just produces her early symbol, and they just all puff away.
Things converge upon you. Once climbing up upon the rock. Before sort of flinging their hands at you. Flinging them at Serilla. Hitting her
That does
with
it.
needles. 7.
So many needles.
Going over here. Closer. Doesn't seem to take it seriously. Well. 4. Icarus. Perhaps shocked or waiting a little bit to see if anyone else acted. You are the first.
Yes, shocked that the others haven't acted yet, but he's used to these things. Everyone is so slow, but he's not. He will circle around, like right here, and then start dive bombing the vine blight here, starting to peck at it in quick succession twice. Poke, poke.
The first one is a miss, the second is a hit.
9 piercing damage, piercing into the plant. And then, as a bonus action, he'll forcefully flap his wings together just once, producing a sudden wave of flame. I miscalculated slightly. I can't hit all of them. Shit.
That's fucking badass.
I can hit a bunch of them. Like so.
Alright.
As he will produce a wave of flame. Actually, is it 15 feet? I think it is. Let me double check. I didn't want to take so much time. It's 15 feet, so I can hit these three for a Burning Feathers, which is a DC 13 dex save.
Nope. 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 Well, yeah, okay.
Last one makes it.
Last one.
Yes, apparently these are very slow and not at all dexterous. They twist and turn. The fire, however, biting into the wet plant material doesn't seem to be extra.
That's fine. That'll be his turn.
Sure. The vampire will turn around and reach out to you as you're flying there for him to grab. And sort of from its body, just many of these vines just release themselves and move to see if it can take you. Failing horribly at it. Perhaps the fire burning them worse than it appeared. As they try to basically grab you and begin pulling you into it. Serilla.
Alright. Well, Serilla will look to Elmal and say, try and stay close to me as she steps just here. And will produce her spirits to start messing these up as best as she can.
Spirit Guardians.
Yeah. And then I don't think any of those are actually. Just need to double check, but I don't think I have a bonus spell cantrip. Or bonus action cantrip, because they are rare. So she will. Trying to figure out where to go. Yeah, she'll come. She'll go here.
Darendil follows.
Yeah, of course.
Giving bonus.
Giving said bonuses, yeah. That'll be.
Okay. Elmo.
Elmo will slowly move up to here. And as he does so, a patch of miscolored fur on the back on the side of him begins to glow. Almost you're able to make out what seems to be some kind of face of a woman with long hair begins to glow on the side of his fur, as his antlers glow even brighter. As if Maptor doesn't want to freeze, I shall go ahead and use Radiance of the Dawn. Whoops, I actually clicked it twice. Go with the first one. I need to reset my uses.
Oh.
Every creature within 30 feet of me must make a DC 15 Constitution save. Or take 12 radiant damage.
30 Constitution. It's a lot of things.
Yes, it is.
All right. See. These guys each take what? 20?
12 radiant damage. I rolled pretty badly. If they succeed, they take less.
Power.
The other shadow is just in 30.
Out of curiosity, how do I? You probably know this, Halldamir. How do I add channel divinity back?
Best bet is short rest and then expend it again.
Okay. We haven't done much so far. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't do anything else but that for clerics. But I presume there's a.
If it succeeded at the saving throw, it takes 6 points of radiant damage.
Yep.
Well, I got pretty good DC. I got DC 15. It's not bad.
DC 15 is good.
Yeah, as the burst of radiant things seems to hurt a lot of these things badly.
And then Elmo
They pull to the light at all.
Then Elmo should kind of move around here. Perhaps not the greatest fan of some of these creatures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here as well. And he will try to fire the shining elk.
There is a very bright shining deer here, which takes 4 damage.
Needles flung at it. Top of the round. This shadow will move.
It's within Serilla's Spirit Guardian.
It sure is. Spirits.
Oh no.
Oh, that is
I've been here before.
Beautiful. Ah, rolled so badly.
14 angel.
It is banished.
Woohoo. Oh, I could have banished it instantly. Damn it.
This druid seems to frown. He will cast upon himself.
As Serilla is surrounded.
Forcing his fences, readying his staff, low with malevolent light. Here.
It's also in range of Spirit Guardian.
Yep. Spirits. Oh, that's better.
23 magical angel damage.
Tiny angel damage. Magical, radiant, tiny angel damage. It's very specific.
Is that giant angel damage too?
Oh, that's in.
And again.
Oh man, we've been here today.
The radiance.
I mean, let's be honest. Between my channel divinity and they're not doing well.
No.
Yeah, and fire.
And the fire helped.
Stacking the
Hello,
AoE.
there's not much. Damn. It
We
got
don't normally
through.
have that much AoE. It makes a
I have
nice
to grab
difference.
the deer.
Oh no!
Grabbing it, dealing 5 points of damage. And grappling you. Oops.
I'm grappled.
Grapple the vines rolling, bringing you around. Shadow here.
It's within
I
range.
believe that's 15.
Yep.
Only
It's
half.
why I stood here. I made sure I'd be exactly.
So it made it, right?
It
half.
made it, so it's half.
Yeah, I made sure I'd be exactly in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
Reaches
Perfect.
out. Touch the deer.
Yes. So happy.
Another
Oh
one.
god, strength drain. No,
Another.
I have like 5 strength.
Die.
That's true. So stay high in the air, Mr. Bill.
Oh, yes. That's good. Oh, damn. 24 didn't kill it outright.
Serilla. Wanting her life.
Nope.
This needle blight, though. It'll get her.
Yeah, it will.
Or
Man. Not that
right over
button.
here sees his companion's action and does it well. Growing like gnarly bark. This one will do it as Serilla. 4.
Yep.
They're rolling fantastically.
They are rolling well. It's not...
This one. will do
Ah, I
Serilla.
lost the... Actually, no, I can reroll because they
8.
don't actually take into effect
Mhm.
the thing, so...
Roll another Constitution. Just saying.
yeah. I make it. So I am
Well, then you
concentrating.
take 8.
Yep. Hang on, I just need to do the... Where's the concentrating button?
There isn't a button to make you concentrating.
Sure.
There's this one.
That one, yeah. Then 8 damage, you say?
Succeed at the save.
Yep.
It's just needles stuck in her all over
And my goal with...
Another-
Ow.
the shadows. Here.
Oh, birdie friend.
Is it attacking the bird?
No, it's not fast.
Too
So
slow.
Icarus can move to the weird shadowy thing coming towards it.
Well, I would like to go after those druids, but first attack against the damaged divine blight. Ignore the actually I can press this one. 20. Peck.
Tear it apart.
And then second attack against the shadow. Not sure how you peck a shadow, but he'll try.
You're a fire bird.
He'll try unsuccessfully. Okay. I think he'll spend one of his points to disengage as a bonus action. Boop. And then he'll go annoy a druid. Going like so because he can.
Sure.
Show off.
And that's that.
Okay. Really. Guardians of your faith around you.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I will... For my bonus action, I'm gonna summon Simi. That's the attack on the shadow, because I'm gonna put it right on the shadow. Just need to find Simi's
Done.
token.
Not a good attack roll.
Not a great attack roll, but these things happen. It's a shame it missed, but okay. Then I'm going to use Preserve Life, and I'm gonna heal 30 to me and 10 to my dear friend. But
Let it begin.
and you know that like 4 can go to charity.
Darren needs healing. Clearly.
Yeah, clearly. So bonus. I know it says concentrating spiritual weapon, but spiritual weapon isn't a concentration spell. It lies. And so standard bonus. Haven't moved but don't need to move. Nor want to move. Just
You're
yet.
in a decent position.
Yeah, so I'll stay here. And that'll be my tune.
Alright. Elmo.
So I'm grabbed, which means I can't move.
Hmm.
But it doesn't stop me from casting spells, I don't believe, does it?
No. Let's see. You can't move. Yeah, that's really it.
Okay. In which case, seeing the spirit guardians around that are destroying the things grabbing him, presumably, that will handle that. So I shall deal with the things that are bombarding my new ally from a distance, and myself to a degree. Those needle blights in the cell.
Mm-hmm.
As I shall, as my horns begin to glow, and within them, a radiant light appears that turns into a bright fire that shoots over a fireball.
Nice.
Oh.
That's
A lot of damage.
That's not bad damage, yeah.
Probably dead. Yeah.
The other one has so little left, even if they saved it. So as the plants just go up in flame, bright and radiant. The magical deer, like just blowing them up, really, lighting a bit of the foliage on fire, scorching the side of the tree, but not too much, really.
I'm cleansing these corrupted plants.
Mm-hmm.
For with their ashes, a new life can grow, a new beauty can dawn. I also can't move, so that's all I can do.
He will cast a spell at Serilla, trying to send more fire her way. Missing.
Yeah.
Then he takes his staff and taps it on the stone, sounding an echo inside the cave. His Vine Blight will reach out for the deer.
Well, it has to make a save first because it's in Serilla's area.
See if it
It's 13 magical radiant tiny angel damage.
destroyed.
Same goes for Shadow 2.
And these damage rolls.
Weak.
Makes it. So 7.
Still enough.
Doesn't like radiant.
They are shadows.
Oh, come on.
Hence why I'm sticking close to Serilla.
The light. What's this one? Will turn around to the bird, and he will try to smack it, using an action to make his staff bright and shiny. Smack in for 12.
Oh god. Okay. Ouch.
Right on his bird head.
You just got whacked by a shillelagh.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Shillelagh's good. He rolled pretty badly with the Shillelagh, but
Following. Yeah. Drain.
Oh no. There's one thing that can kill me very quickly. It's strength drain.
Turn you into a bird shadow.
Okay, good.
How much strength do you have?
I have 5 now.
Okay.
Oh, good grief.
It's probably a good thing you have 2 clerics. We can fix that strength.
Let's see. He'll peck at the druid twice. Peck.
That looks like both hits.
Okay, 14 then. Oh, he still maintains concentration. And then bonus action to get the fuck out of here. Over here.
He snarls and tries to swing too fast.
Catch me.
Icarus, it's not like you to run away like that.
Not running away, I'm preparing another flyby. You wouldn't understand. You don't have wings.
Whatever you say.
Alright, we'll start off with bonus action to get Simi over here and do her attack. 21 for 11 damage. And I will come over here
Show them the light.
and then I think I will I'll use my longsword and divine strike on it. The the shadow. Yeah, the shadow. For 11 damage as well.
Oh, you hit.
Now they can die around me.
Elmo.
Elmo shall take a few take a few steps over to here. Look over to Shadow Druid number 1, and is going to is going to go ahead and conjure down some light in the form of a sacred flame upon the Shadow Druid number 1. It's the one with Skinny. Make a DC 15 save or 12 damage. It makes it so it takes nothing. Barely.
Yeah. It seems like this, fight another day and all that.
But he does get an attack of opportunity from Simi as he leaves.
Here.
Oh, he thinks he can run away.
That's a crit, by the way.
There's kind of a flaming bird over there.
Tries to leave.
That was also a crit, so Simi was badass.
This one snarls and casts a spell.
Well, actually, first you have to make a save because it's in Serilla's area.
That's true.
Save! He makes it. 10.
It takes 10.
Reasonably wise. So he spits more blood. Guardians break into him.
Although, if he's casting a spell, don't I get an attack of opportunity?
No.
No?
No.
Not in 5th edition.
Ah, so many systems.
Faces towards Serilla and
Thunderwave.
Thunderwave, wow.
Con save.
DC 12? I think I can make that. Oh, yeah. So what happens to me?
on a failed save you take
Half damage.
Half.
take half damage. So half of 19.
So 9.
And then he hopes he will be pushed away.
Sounds like you get an attack opportunity.
Alright. Fuck you, buddy.
That's also a quick shift Darren deal with you.
Oh, that's true. So even more damage if he dies.
But if he doesn't die.
If he doesn't die.
Cut
Then.
him.
Yeah, Darren deal make sure crits are 19.
Die. And he's in range.
Shadow. It can live with the
Yeah, and it only takes
7?
half.
7 dash.
Plus the extra from being radiant.
Plus the extra from being radiant. That's true.
Comes to like 10 damage.
Are you gonna flee?
tries to reach Serilla. Shadows don't. Shadows are
You fail.
vigorous.
Vroom. He's back. I will start packing furiously. 14 and a crit actually, because I've got advantage on all these, thanks to Serilla giving me my pack tactics.
Critical pack.
The shadow is disintegrated too, leaving you in the glade.
Serilla wastes no time because spell durations and all. Simi only a minute long, so she'll probably go. But her spirits are around for an hour.
Oh
No,
god.
for 10 minutes even. Sorry.
Okay. Still
10
long.
minutes. It's a good time to sprint down this cave.
Perhaps one of us should heal Icarus.
Fine. I just got my head bashed in, but
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh.
No problem.
Want to give him a quick top up?
I'll give you a...
It'll heal you. It'll heal you as.
It's true. I'll give you a top up. How much are you missing, actually? Yeah, alright.
16 or something. Actually 19.
cave and says, "I really had hoped we could stay above ground for a while.
You and me both, but
Let's hope there's no poisonous drow down there."
I would, if it means anything to you. The underground is not particularly either of our habitats.
What's a drow?
I'll tell you after we're finished here.
Don't
For
ruin
all
his...
you, for all you know about civilization, you know surprisingly little sometimes, Icarus.
Well, you didn't even know what a mime was, so shut up.
Have there ever been mimes in the forest?
Not yet, luckily. But they'll come.
This is what you've been getting the entire time you've been with these two.
Serilla will dash down into the cave.
I will gallop down as it is.
Hopefully trying to reach her next encounter within 10 minutes. As she's used to running from counter to encounter.
Luckily, you don't even need to slow down. I mean, you're actually the slowest person of the group now.
Well, Darren is.
I suppose Darren. That's true. But companions move. But companions move at the speed of plot.
Plot is moving mighty fast. You know. Yeah, she crawls into the cave, seemingly dug in dirt, really. Not really much to be said about it. Plain. Is magically created.
Okay. Right.
On earth shaped, perhaps. In here, you sort of feel a gloomy wind coming through.
That's always a good sign. Well. Onwards, my new companions. She waste no time. These people are feeble and are evil. They require purging. They taint the land and...
They destroy the beauty of the forest.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
She peeks in there, realizes...
There appears to be two different paths. One leading to a further tunnel. And the other to what seems to be a bit of a broader cave. Wherein a lot of roots from above. Perhaps the tree is above it.
Interesting. She looks behind her and says, "The way branches."
Which way seems like it? Which way seems like it's had more traffic?
It's hard to tell, really. The ground floor here is stumped. Seemingly magically created. It hasn't left many tracks.
Huh. Dunno. Squeezing through a tight gap, I'm not always a fan of, but I think we could probably manage it.
If we wanted someone to look through a smaller gap, my head tilts back to the bird.
Icarus in turn looks behind him and then sees nobody who would be appropriate.
There's a bit of mud pools in there. Seems like there's a few bubbles. As one of them bursts, a friendly glow.
A friendly glow?
It's a little of light.
I like friendly glows.
Friendly glows, let's go. Fuck it. Squeeze!
I feel this is a terrible decision.
It probably is, but the quicker we can purge this place, the quicker I can get back to saving my family and this forest.
From the end of this little dirt room, sort of the ceiling is low and such, but at the end you can see that another path continues. It does seem like there's some murky water, the rain having probably broken up some dripping water from the ceiling. However, the glow's not as friendly as you might think.
No!
I warned so.
Go on, experience.
Has it been less than a minute, Manaki?
Not less than a minute, but less than an hour.
Less than 10 minutes?
It's been around 10.
Okay.
If you have a 10-minute thing, you can probably make it last this encounter, and then.
Alright, cool. So no Simi, but we got spirits, so that's good. I'll take spirits over Simi.
Yes. Roll a save. Do some spirit damage.
I don't see them, sorry.
No, but because they're invisible.
15. They're constantly flying around.
Little thing.
I didn't die.
Advantage. Axe.
No.
Doesn't help it. Little glowing orb.
That's not a friendly glow at all.
That's
That's
not a friendly
hostile glow.
Do another roll.
Yeah. 22. It's better. It's better.
And Elmo gets to act.
I guess it just died.
I warned you. Well.
I love that fucking spell.
Sadly, will-o-wisps are generally very dexterous, which means I'm not in the best position. But given a lot of my stuff is dex saves.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, I will try to Sacred Flame the one I can see, Manako.
Sure.
Wow.
Try to dodge, and it's very good at that.
It dodges all 5 damage.
Yeah.
+9. My god. Yeah, my spells aren't working on these things. I need a plan B.
Yeah.
For now, though, I will just simply stand here.
Sure. It's very uncomfortable in tight space. Because
Icarus
hard
will
to fly in here.
hop over here and then just go to town like a startled chicken.
This is the startled chicken style.
11 and 20. I do have advantage.
There.
And I'm going to spend a key point to attack twice more. For 16 and 15.
Nope, both misses. Try to hit the little glowing orb.
Apparently, startled chicken style is not the most effective against will-o-wisps.
No.
Alright, she's gonna swing at the will-o-wisp she can see.
And miss.
Oh well.
You tried.
Yep. She shall come here. So nothing can get past her without reach.
Good thing you've got AoE damage.
Exactly. Nothing can come past her without...
Do 2 more rolls.
2 more? Sure. First one's 20, second one's 11. At least one of them will survive. I'm hoping only one of them has survived.
Yes.
Against Elmo.
No. He misses, but no.
It got
Advantage.
through.
Oh, I had it.
When,
What is
given,
advantage?
its invisibility. It
No.
shocks you.
I'm sorry, my friend.
Way to lure you to trap.
I'm an upset deer.
Tries to survive any. It's bad time for it.
Die. I mean,
Like-
die.
You might know that these are in fact already dead.
Yeah. That's
Elmo.
like angry spirits, right?
Hmm.
They are undead things.
Sadly, I don't think they're less than CR1, and to be honest, I wouldn't want to waste the channel.
More valuable for you to heal.
Yeah, exactly.
And in my case, it's more valuable to do for raw damage later.
Yeah.
I don't imagine will-o-wisps have a good con, admittedly. Let's see. Oh, these things are, I'm so unlikely to actually be able to hit them with my cantrip.
Yeah.
It'll probably die next time it has a initiative anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you have like hoofs and antlers. You can use those as well.
They're not very good.
Fight it. Fight it like a man. I mean, a deer.
Fine, I will show you the amazement of my attack
Fight it, deer.
as I will attempt to gore. Well,
Yes.
bite, actually.
Oh.
Gore sounds better.
I like gore.
Well, yeah, it just like
Elmo was not particularly good at melee.
Maybe you should sit down at some point and really think about how you should attack. That's what Icarus does all the time.
Uh-huh.
let's see how well he does it.
Alright, he will go here and save the deer. Pack, oh god. I guess I technically have advantage, so
You do.
17,
I'm still
18.
engaged to it.
Nope, 17, 18's not enough.
I'll do my bonus action attack then. Well then. 17. Things are impossible.
Dodges his wings and king.
What were you saying?
Serilla will whack at the will-o-wisp that's next to him, next to her, and miss. And then she'll be content with the knowledge her spirits shall kill them all.
Takes 10.
Yep.
Little sugar.
Nope. Rude. So rude.
Can roll its wisdom save as well.
Die! Damn it.
And it takes 6.
Or 7, okay, sure. I'll take a
Oh.
death.
One left. The angry glow. Hateful.
I will try to burn the glow.
Trees corrupted.
Probably not going to work, but I'll try to burn the glow. Could roll badly.
It can only end
takes nothing.
neutrally.
Takes no damage.
Okay. Let's hop over there with my 25-foot hopping speed. And pack at it for crit. Take that, judgmental deer.
The little light mode appears. The little moment goes. No more appearing.
Serilla will then turn back to Elmal and reach out a hand and place it just on like his front shoulder and heal him.
Stale air. Smells from further dirt cave.
Yeah.
Hole the barrow, maybe.
Well,
We
Serilla.
keep moving.
Where else you make cave?
Sorry? Well, Serilla will say we should press on and start heading forth.
What she sees there, she looks the cave beyond is and sort of walks there is a quite different sight. The cave is much larger and sort of has its ceiling enlarged, or maybe even there's a little bit of a downwards walk there.
Interesting.
As you go there, it seems that there's lots of like piles, what seems to be like grave dirt everywhere. Pretty high ones, really, just with like pieces of bone and like rubble and such dug out of them. In the wall, you can see like pieces of ruins, an elvish style, some like script and such that have been torn from what seems to be a buried ruin. A few supplies are gathered, and a hole is indeed full of bone parts, presumably old elven graves, perhaps buried. By a table at the opposite end of the room stands a bald man, tattoos. He's pale and is wearing a long flowing red robe. Turning around, as you enter. Footstep squeeze through the dirt. He sees you, frowning at Serilla, and the deer and the bird and Darendil. And says, what curious company is this? Who are you?
We are retribution for what you and yours have done here.
Yes, that... You... Who are you? Retribution means little here. Did you murder the others?
She nods and says, I am Lady Serilla of House Sylvan cleric of my league here. And they have caused
What's
a
the
blow.
point of this, then? I have the right to be here. This excavation is signed by your house.
She kind of
Frowns at you, seeming annoyed at this interruption.
falters a little bit and kind of like plays with the words in her mouth almost like my. And then
Sylvan Ray, is it? Take your deer and leave. This is not for you, child. According to our agreement, this is my...
which Sylvan Ray put you up to
And
this?
I don't care, frankly. What is important is that I have the right to be here. And if you have harmed my associates above, as I said I would not want to be disturbed.
Oh, I did more than harmed them. I killed them. And if you are working with who
Such an inconvenience. The stone tablet pieces he's cut from the wall and the table. I am in the middle of something, though, so if you can take your retribution elsewhere, I shall have to reanimate them later.
She takes a breath, raises her.
Yeah, a shadowy thing. From, well, almost as you hadn't seen it from the corner of a wall. A long, sort of horned, spiny creature of complete black. Brawls or whispers something in the language you don't quite understand. You do, however, have a memory of it once. Once you saw something that unnerved you. Your uncle, you walked in on him in a place he didn't expect you, and you saw him create something with magic. This.
Sorry, you cut out.
You saw him create something with magic. Summon. It appears to be this.
Whatever this thing is.
Yeah. Him turns to look at it, looking back at you and says, interesting. So you are the forgotten child, eh? I thought you were dead. Fortunate, I suppose. Does your uncle know you're here?
I certainly hope not, and I wish that I can kill you both before that leaks to him.
Dramatic. Death is not the end, it is simply the beginning. We will all get there soon enough. Hopefully, though, our preparations will allow us to transcend such a sorry state. Are you here to learn? Were you sent here by him?
Her smile almost grows wicked, almost angry in a smile. Wicked and curled as she says, "Oh no, I've grown to do the exact opposite, just to destroy things like you and nurture the very thing you wish to avoid, that is life." She smiles as she takes a couple steps forward and said, "As for that creature that whispers in your ears, I was there when it was made, and I will make sure that it doesn't leave my sight again. Darkness does not belong in the forest. It belongs in the deep, where I have crawled out of."
Is this that it once again glides into an invisible, the murk?
You're turning invisible, Manako?
Yeah.
In that case, I think I'm going to respond here to that. Turning invisible, which I want to target exactly where it was with Fairy Fire.
All right. Want to initiate combat?
Yeah.
Sure.
Man,
I thought you were fast enough.
Crap.
Well, in the where exactly was it before? What square was it in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 1 second.
I had to make the speech dramatic.
There's a nice 20-foot cube then, or Fairy Fire, which I'm going to unleash. There we go.
Dexterity.
Oh, yes. Oh. I'm not too worried about.
He succeeds, but it is surrounded by a 10-foot glowing light. It can't benefit from any invisibility, and everyone gets advantage against it. It gets no benefit from invisibility anymore, as it's now glowing in the bright lights of the forest.
Yeah, as it moves over to the barrels. It is glowing, hissing. Any movement?
Elmo shall move to here.
Yeah, frowns at you and says, "I suppose we shall speak when I've dealt with your friends. I never liked this sort of petulant people, especially not from children." She reaches out, a hand to the gesture and says, "Come, spirits. Don't kill her. Play the others." Then turns his hand, making it into a bit of a dramatic effect. So, like around you, things grow incredibly cold, just from the ground and the air, like a burst of ice all around you, blasts. Marketing. All of you.
Could you turn your mic threshold a bit down a bit, Manaki? You seem to cut out just at the end of a word or something.
I could do that. Maybe this is better.
It sounds okay. Yeah, we'll see how we go on.
We'll try it. But he cast a spell at all of you, and
I need to know more about the spell.
you can see if you can do some saves.
Okay, dexterity saves, or take bludgeoning and cold.
Yep.
It's a lot of damage as well. That could almost kill both of you outright.
Ooh, almost. But surely, I mean, I can do a dex
Surely
save.
the bird can do a dex save.
Also,
I can.
Sitting
I
on there in
can't.
its head.
I'm channeling Roland.
I apparently can't, so I'm taking
Okay.
a lot of damage.
It was like double our health, but in fairness, but
31 damage? Yeah. Oof.
yeah, and I take 15.
15 it is. Ouch.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't even.
As around the piles begin to tremble, as things dig themselves out of them.
Bless you, Tina.
It's skeletons.
I'm sensing channeled divinities.
Yes.
Yes, skeletons.
From the
Let them
grave,
come
even
to me.
rises up some of his subjects.
Yeah, I'm definitely channeling. Don't know about you, Serilla, but I'm definitely channeling.
Do you have Destroy Undead?
Not as good as yours.
Oh, man.
Your
Quick,
Destroy Undead is better than mine.
start measuring. I need to get within 30 feet of all of them.
Well, they might come to you.
Oh,
Swings at Serilla.
misses.
She stands there with a confident smile.
Yeah, I destroy CR halves.
Swan
not
leans
CR
up and
ones.
shoots at Icarus.
Shooting? Well, he misses.
They have bows, yeah. This one will do that too.
It's also a miss. You need to aim better, you guys.
Dead elves. So it swings the sword, rusty, gross sword. Small shoot at the bird.
That is a hit, but he's a very quick bird, so try to deflect and or catch the missile. Which will reduce the damage to 0, and he'll then catch it in his talons and then fling it back at the skeleton for an attack roll of 10.
Which misses.
You know,
Look
you
cool.
never meant to use arrows, but
Yeah.
This creature over here doesn't like being revealed at all, like in any way. And it's going to stop that. Because it is very fast. It seems to like to go to the shadows though, so it'll start by moving over here. Serilla.
All right.
There's skeletons of old elves attacking you. The whole you can see spectral forms rising up, dangerous and full of malice, apparently under this man's command, as he basically, with a hand outstretched, is controlling all of them to move towards you. His red wizard robes sort of bellowing around him.
Well, Cerilla's going to accept a couple of attacks of opportunity. Move here.
We'll swing their short sword at her.
Miss. And miss. And then she shall present her shield to the wizard, which has Manaki symbol emblazed on it. It shall turn all undead within 30 feet, so excluding this guy and the Hexandre.
Alright.
Anything that is CR1 or lower dies.
everything else runs away.
Everything else runs, flees. And if I remember, and I think skeletons are CR1. At least normal ones, I think. Ah, yes. Feel my wrath.
I don't have that power. I can do CR half, not CR1.
Yeah, they you can tell us what it looks like when they.
Sure. As she strides over here, just two long elfin strides over, she turns to the wizard and says, I am fed up of you and yours corrupting this land. And she presents her shield in the standing forward, putting the flat of her blade against the top, and a flash from the holy symbol pulses out, and all but one skeleton drops with nothing holding them up anymore. And
The two ghosts will have to roll a save to see if they get turned.
yep, the two ghosts have to take saves.
They cannot be turned. This is their bound place.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So she's used but half of her movement, and but a standard action. The rest of her turn will go as such.
A healing word would not be out of place.
Yes, exactly. So we'll start with a mass healing word.
Even better.
For everyone gets 10, I get
get
15. That's my bonus action.
Can't
then
Icarus
that's-
heal.
Everyone gets 10. I like 10. 10 is a good one.
And, part of me doesn't want to let the ghost go, but then part of me doesn't want to let the guy go, or whatever the hexandry is. They're both are well out of reach of the remainder of my movement. I don't know. Who do you think we should go for? The guy knows a lot, so maybe he'll surrender. I doubt it, but it's
depends how much you hate hexandry.
What do I know about hexandry, Manaki?
Not a lot, but you can do a religion check if you wanted to take a look at it.
My checks have been great. 14's not too
Looks
bad.
like it is some sort of demon.
Oh, it's a demon. Oh, okay.
You want to deal with demon?
Demon, necromancer, cleric of life. It's very difficult.
It's true. It's true.
It's so difficult to choose. It's very difficult. So, I'm going to leave it up to chance. Okay, it's hexandry.
I mean, if it means anything to you, I plan to roast both hexandry and him.
Oh, I mean, it means a lot to me.
The grey piles are difficult terrain.
They're
piled towards the ceiling, so you sort of crawl over them.
That's fine. I'll just skirt around it and be here. Menacing looking. I guess these guys follow.
You guys playing a game that I'm interrupting?
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
Leave!
Bye, Grim. Bye, Grim.
Yes, why is there two of them every time? Oh my god, that's weird. Well, the elven ghost moves over, hungry for life essence, barely listening to him. The skeleton's apparently more easily controlled. It reaches out to try to touch you, drain your life. With what is probably a very dangerous drain, should actually manage to hit you. So here, attack the deer.
I'm going to. I was trying to declare that. Okay, Manaki, if I use my ability, I was trying to declare
Sure.
that I was using warding flare, which makes it disadvantage.
Oh.
As a glint of light stops it, as it almost just ripped your soul out of your head. Hoping to transform you into part of itself.
But no. Elmo's horns brightly flash with a radiant light and distracted.
The ghosts are pyramid schemes. Icarus.
So,
We've been dragged about a little bit as Darendil has tried to keep up with Serilla fighting with her, basically.
Darendil has done a great job being a taxi.
You gone there?
That demon flying away, or running away, that's not a good thing.
Can't reach the
Can I
necromancer.
squeeze through here so I don't get attack of opportunity to death?
He's just a small
Roll
bird.
So
an acrobatics check, and if you succeed, then you can. If not, you'll lose the movement.
okay, that's fine. Acrobatics, I'm good at that. 23.
Yes, you can get through that.
Jumping off Darendil's head to hop after this glowing demon.
Mhm.
Bravely standing in its way as like a 2-foot bird. And start just flailing at it, really. I do have advantage on all these, so 16 and 20.
Both hit.
You know what? I'll blow my last key point here to make another 2 attacks. For 23 and 24.
Yes.
18.
Punch and
Tack, tack,
smack
tack.
at the shadowy demon thing. Its leathery skin sort of denting as you hit it, while its crooked face turns into a smile, happy to have you alone to itself.
Icarus will spread his wings slightly while standing on the ground, looking a bit awkward, as if trying to form a barrier to not let this fiend escape. It's ugly, and Icarus hates ugly things. Except Darendil, he's okay.
So sadly, I can't reach the necromancer now because the ghosts are kind of in my face, and I don't feel like provoking from them.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I don't feel like provoking.
Could say they're dangerous.
So I suppose I'll just stand here and do what I was going to do, which means I'm not going to hit the necromancer, but I'll hit everything else. As I'm also going to channel divinity, but not to turn undead, but to do a Radiance of the Dawn. as every enemy needs to make me a Constitution save. No. No. No.
What? What happened?
I'll hex Jerry also needs to, but
Ah.
it affects living enemies as well. Okay. Yeah, if they fail, they take 13 points of radiant damage. Hex and Dre will take 6. This also banishes any magical darkness within 30 feet of me. Which, I mean, it'll probably annoy Hex and Dre.
I don't like it.
Hope so.
Since, it's a blinding radiant light. And hey, I killed a skeleton.
It's something.
Crumbled.
Move to the...
That is wonderful. Thank you.
I'm out of channel divinities now, but that's fine.
So am I. We'll survive.
Reaches out his hand. Seemingly doesn't care too much about collateral damage, as he sort of scoffs, saying, "Enough of this! I bore of this child's play." Reaching out and throwing a fireball into your midst, hitting all you three, a ghost and Hexandre.
That's my trick. Fine.
At least we all know the drill. I fail.
It's failed. It's succeeded deck save or instantly die. Okay. Actually,
So
I'll have 1 HP.
You got 1 hit point.
We all fail.
I'll save you.
She will take 27 fire damage.
Oh,
Does not appreciate this kind of. Surely, no. Okay, well, the ghost is a ghost. Doesn't care. That's the, because they're both resistant to. So they won't take half.
How does concentration work? Does that
When you get hit, it's either a DC 10 or half the damage, whichever is higher.
yeah.
So DC
Okay.
13.
okay? I need to roll. What is that? A con save?
It's quite a con save, yeah.
Yeah.
35 still okay.
Well, it looks like you already made it. Anyway. Remember, it's done
No,
in the...
Damage, it automatically does it. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's already.
As he frowns, are you
Yeah.
done, child, or shall you have another one?
I didn't notice it actually did roll. Yeah. Okay.
It did, yeah.
Alexandre sort of looks at the bird menacingly and reaches out his claws to scratch at it.
No.
Reaching perhaps the claws not entirely physical, for Alexandre's mind to fill it with madness and corruption should he manage to actually touch him.
Well, as it turns out, you're looking for the mind of a bird, which is very small.
Bird brain.
Serilla,
Uh,
you're scorched, and so is your animal companions. Two ghosts are feeling fine, as they're about to drain your souls, make you into little ghosts.
yeah. I'm going to have to try and save our souls somewhat. And I'm going to use Mass Healing Word at level 4. So 16 for you guys. 22 for myself. And as that was a bonus action, I will then use something I haven't used before, which is a cantrip, which is Word of Radiance. She says a divine word and radiance erupts from her. Only travels 5 feet.
But you both make con saves.
And they both make con saves. Will take 7. So he
For two.
fails. And he fails.
They each take 7 points of radiant damage.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping that radiant damage would hurt them a bit more, but you know.
Not these ones.
We can dream.
They're ghosts, not shadows, sadly.
Yeah. But it looks cool in my
It
mind's
does
eye.
look cool. It's 14 damage.
Recoil for just a moment.
That'd be me.
As it reaches out for Serilla. Will quencher.
Miss. Thank God.
Should I expect light from the deer?
Yeah, I'm going to warding flare this as well to make it disadvantage.
Oy
Reaches out.
Okay, didn't matter in this case, but I was scared.
Oh man.
So,
It's a hit isn't massive, but
I mean, for me, it's massive.
Well, this Hexandre demon thing is scary, but
Hey, you've got advantage.
not as scary as an angry bird when it's shouting at you. So, 2 attacks, 24 and 22.
both hit, yeah.
And then,
Dead.
Into a black mist that sort of dissipates.
yes.
a victory squawk before he will continue pecking from the ghosts.
You glorious bird, you.
And it's
24.
24 hits the ghost.
5 damage.
Poke.
As it begins to shake and shatter.
You
seemingly
bloodied the
turning
ghost.
its attention to you.
That's fine. Brave bird.
I like you, bird. You're a good bird. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. I think we need more healing. That's like I'm getting here.
Yeah, I'm running out of the big ones. I got another mass healing word in me.
I'm going to use the mass healing word myself.
That sounds brilliant.
I'm not as good as you are, but hey.
Sweetie, not many are.
But everyone gets 8.
Still solid healing from a 1d4. And because I know your spell DCs are 15, I know you rolled a 3 on the d4.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, very, very wise deer.
Very wise, dear. Sadly, I'm spread thin over, like, strength and con to be that
Seem to
wise.
frustrate the wizard.
I shall proceed then to. Let's see. I can't use another spell because I've just spent I just used an actual spell. So in which case I shall go ahead.
Use a cantrip
and...
because that is a bonus action.
Yeah. Yes, I shall go ahead then and sacred flame the ghost next. You can make a DC 15. Okay, take 6 points of radiant damage.
Sure.
So I can stop concentrating because it doesn't matter anymore.
Mhm.
Don't have a button, stop concentrating. Okay. I need one.
Lexian says, your uncle will be most dissatisfied with you dissipating him. Takes quite a bit to get him back. Says, you really are a mystery creature. It should be most exciting to examine your brain. Seems pretty hard to hit, really. But it's time to just expend something small. The ghosts will take care of you. She will point to Serilla and shoot her with magic missiles.
Not magic missile! I don't have shield.
3 of them just blowing over there. Like,
Damn it.
into-
Curse you!
At least I gave you the extra healing.
Yeah, it's true.
Sure.
Oh, man. These ghosts are a problem.
Mhm.
They are a big problem. Hmm.
I'll probably pull out something to help boost damage in a second. When my turn comes back.
Okay. Boost damage, you say? Hmm.
Get a bit of something extra.
Interesting, interesting. Okay,
Everything that will help, because these guys are tougher than... These guys are pretty damn tough.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I am going to swing at the ghost that is bloodied.
Metaphorically speaking, bloodied.
Metaphorically. And then I'm going to use Darendil's ability called Rend to add
46 slashing damage.
46 onto that.
Yeah, his inspiration is spent. You know, you come this far together. You know each other well. He knows just how to move. When
He's had a lot of practice fighting with Rahal.
ripping in and tearing the ghost apart, smashing the spirit with his claws, snarling. Very unlike him, really. Not elven-like at all. When he fights like this for real. Sort of.
I can understand.
His instincts allowing him to act.
No, I wanted to go like so, basically. Easily within my movement.
Are you okay with the ghost attacking you, or do you want me to warding flare his attack to make it disadvantage?
I would like that.
Like, I've only got 2 left until I long rest, but
Hopefully there won't be much after this.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping as well. There's not going to be too much more this long rest.
No, exactly. So... Well, he's going to have to hit me. You know what? I'm going to use something I haven't used before. Before this very moment. As a bonus action, I shall Shield of Faith myself. Try and hit me now, ghost.
Do you still want that disadvantage in post?
I mean, it's very difficult for me to for him to hit me now, so no. I deserve it if I get hit, basically.
He'll probably crit you if he hits you.
Yeah.
The wizard moves his hand in a waving gesture, and the ghost will respond accordingly.
Oh, okay.
Kill the deer.
I'll warding flare to protect myself.
Ah, damn, that's only an 18. Almost a crit.
There's another flare to try.
Good thing I warding flare.
Yeah.
Hitting though.
19.
It didn't crit me though.
That's true.
Not for the 41
Reaching out
damage
to
crit,
drain
yeah.
some life. DC 14 Constitution save.
Yeah, it's changed.
And this is a okay. It's reduced maximum hit point.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you fail the con save.
If you fail.
That's 0.
Yeah.
Okay. So I lose 19 hit points.
Just remember the original.
There's actually a button for drain.
Okay.
Yeah.
As he smiles slightly and says, I think that will do it. Sort of cold magic again, blaring in his hand. Icarus.
Oh no. Is this like tall enough to fly in?
As long as you don't fly over the dark patches.
Okay. In that case,
You have plenty of
have a
movement.
speedy bird to peck at eyes over here. Stupid wizard. 13 at 9. I mean, he's a wizard,
No,
right?
you hit the magically defense.
Keep
One more try. No.
You frown
back.
at the bird.
The bird would frown if it had limbs, but it doesn't.
You can
Okay, I'm
scout.
hurting. I'm definitely hurting.
You're not even bloodied.
Yeah. You've got more than half your health left.
That doesn't mean much. Do I know if these ghosts are particularly weak to anything?
They're probably not.
Okay. It's worth asking. I'm a religious deer.
In fact, radiant is what they're not incredibly resistant to.
Yeah.
Pretty much as far as it goes.
I mean, I could just attack it with a nice big, like with a nice bolt of radiant energy.
Always
But
works.
Fairly well staying together still.
Not originally what I had planned, but you know, sure. I can use a level Is it worth me using a level 2 Guardian Bolt or just keeping level 1? It's only extra d6 of damage.
Yeah, it's really not worth it because you get 46 as it is. The spell slot could be used on healing. At least that's what I found.
Yeah, I will Guiding Bolt the ghost in its face. Its ghostly face.
Ghost face.
16 radiant damage, and the next person to attack is advantage.
Yeah.
Also move to here to try and spread ourselves out from AoE.
Sure. Might end up being a good idea. Yes, she looks at you, sort of frowns, you know, deeply, clearly considering his options. He says, well, I suppose if you want to die that badly.
Lightning Bolt.
So I can go over here
No.
and reach out his hands. Lucky for you that you moved over there, because what comes is a massive spray of cold.
Ooh.
Against Serilla and Icarus.
Can't catch that.
I guess can't.
48. Okay,
Oh.
If I save, I'll be on 1 hit point again.
Oh, thank God I made it. My God.
But let me tell you what isn't my best save.
Oh, bye.
Unfortunately, the mini phoenix we have is not great against the cold.
No, he is not a phoenix. He is very much a mortal bird.
He just freezes and falls on the ground.
You want to be a phoenix?
Dying.
Probably doesn't even know what a phoenix is.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have Arcana.
He smiles like this. Are you quite done soon? My lab is a mess now.
Serilla will turn to him and smile her sweet smile and say, oh, nowhere near. And they'll use Mass Healing Word, her bonus action, to bring Icarus back to life.
Oh, good. I can heal all these hit points which don't exist.
Hey, you get up to max hit points, alright? Shut up. That elven ghost, man.
You'd somehow reset your max hit point.
I did reset my max hit point. That was interesting.
She looks down at the bird, you know, we're lifting a boot, basically.
Oh, no, you don't.
You know what? I will cast Simi again, but not next to the ghost.
You can only use cantrips after using.
That's true. You've already used a spell.
Yeah, you're right.
So you get a
right.
standard action cantrip or standard action punching someone in the face.
Yeah, I'd much rather try and punch something in the face. So I'll come over here.
You get advantage on this punching.
I do. Swing and miss.
Advantage is also an 8.
Yeah. It is a shame, but I got the bird back up.
Turning to you. You'll have your soul yet.
Try me. And you fail.
Try it out.
You fail, elven ghost.
Bruce.
He'll
Waking up there after like being thawed in ice and like sort of
ruffling his feathers, hopping on his legs again to keep poking this guy, really. But he'll hop over here. Surely he'll attack. He'll dodge all the attacks then.
visible.
He can't step on you if you're on top of a table.
Actually, move here. There we go. Try that again now.
You can't attack in both directions.
11, 14, and 20.
20 hits.
8 damage.
Yeah, peck his ankles. It'll inconvenience him slightly.
We're so bloodied. Oh my god.
Nobody. Can we add a big disclaimer here? Nobody said the animals would be that powerful.
Yeah.
Elmo.
All right. I might have to put another mass healing word myself. So I'm at max hit points,
You are at max hit points.
which makes it far less useful in some regards.
Yeah.
What's the range on healing word?
60.
Like, I could just give the Icarus a healing word.
You could.
It would probably be more effective.
Probably. You could.
I don't think that was actually. It might save me from magic missile or something.
Yeah.
That's true.
Alternatively, I can use my spell slot on attacking the ghost.
I think you should kill the ghost. Like, you don't win a fight with healing.
That's true. Go ahead and guiding bolt the ghost in front of me again.
Endless bright.
16?
16 hits.
That's 10 radiant damage. And Serilla once again has advantage.
Looks at the bird. Serilla. I suppose I will go tell on you then. This has turned out to be far more than it's worth. Too much trouble. Yes, he will cast a spell, showing invisible. And then,
Turned invisible, huh?
Serilla.
Still somewhere in the room.
I don't.
Probably.
There's no way he's escaped yet.
No. Problem is, I don't have a 3rd level spell to do AoE. And I don't have any other AoE.
I have both Fairy Fire and AoE, but I don't know where to target.
Well, you can use perception to try to pinpoint creatures.
That's true.
I could. Is that an action of any sort?
Yeah.
What, one action, bonus
An
action?
action to try to pinpoint him.
If the point is, if you can find him and say, like, aim there, I can reveal him.
Yep.
If I survive.
I shall attempt to do that very thing. 25.
Yes, there.
So by that table.
Yep, by the table. And I'm pretty sure I've got a different bonus action spell that I could use that would be useful right this second.
Maybe some form of healing, probably in that case.
Maybe, yeah.
Like healing Icarus and healing yourself by result.
Yeah, I'll do that real quick. So I don't have a damage spell, so I will do that. What?
Cleric has very little quick action damage.
Yeah. So heal 9. Well, I heal 3.
Icarus, you got 20 hit points. You're beyond. You're over half health.
Like, all good again. It's amazing.
That's my turn. Pointing it out.
Let's see if it can get you.
It does not with Shield of Faith, because it's +2. So get fucked, ghost.
So you wanna,
Well,
you could wait for me to see if I can Fairy Fire him.
all right. The deer shall wait. Let me try something. Because we'll wait and let him try something.
It was supposedly over by the.
Yep.
What is the range of Fairy Fire?
60 feet,
That is quite a long range.
which means I have
Yeah.
to move to here,
Yeah.
Yeah, easy enough.
and I release my 20-foot cube. He fails,
Yes.
most certainly. I don't. My high DCs aren't even mattering.
It's a glittering wizard. Oh, glitter where there is a wizard.
As my horns glitter away, releasing the light. That was my. Unfortunately, I can't do anything else, but I'm sure the bird can. Oh, I will move back over here.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Bird?
Mr. Bird will go chase the glittery wizard.
Ghost to kill this elk so that he can be invisible again.
Well, you know what happened to the last thing that tried to escape? Got glittered and then died.
Crit.
Good God, man.
So 12, then crit.
And one more.
25.
Almost a crit.
Okay.
Do it very fire.
Good.
It was a really good spell, actually.
It's going well.
But that's
I
my
did-
turn.
I didn't think Fairy Fire was as good of a spell, actually, but it really is.
Very useful.
Okay. I enjoyed. All right. Well, he will act then.
The
Fine.
bird has dealt him 19 damage.
If that's what you want. Then
Ooh, it is.
the kind of thing you'll get.
Bite me, punk.
Bird is not afraid. He's not a PC. He doesn't fear death. It just happens.
Isn't it? Well, there are other things you can do when you have magic.
You're sort of an NPC. You're nearly a PC.
Use a spell. Taking a Misty Step teleportation.
He'll get 30 movement.
Over there. And he will take his actual movement.
Okay.
And
Yes.
he'll shoot a cantrip that deer over there.
He indeed
24
shoots.
for 4 damage.
How much?
4 damage.
24 to hit for 4 damage.
4 damage?
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. It's more. It's 14 damage.
Either way, he's still alive.
And the concentration is still going.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Says, cease this.
We need this ghost to die in
You
case
advantage against the ghost if you try attacking
Elmar
it.
dies.
Kill
Yeah.
this deer and murder it.
I'm gonna try kill the ghost. 23 for 14.
Hits. And kills the ghost.
Good. And then I shall stride forth. And because why the hell not cast Simi right next to me, fumbling.
Skimmy is here now. He threatens.
It is true. So, Simi's here. Threatening Simi. Grr. That's my turn.
I'm not doing too good. I'm pretty hurting. But
Sort of reaches up a hand and says, "Why do you persist?"
Serilla doesn't say anything.
I shall ride around to here. And then I shall fire magic at that wizard. As from my antlers, several rays of burning fire erupt. Scorching ray.
Nice.
That's 19, 23, and 19.
That's hilarious.
Well, we shall use a shield
They all miss? Or
to do that. So make his AC a 20, meaning that he still gets 6 points of damage.
he still gets slightly burnt.
So shields himself from the fire, persisting it until the end of his turn.
There's nothing else I can do.
You do not want Thay as an enemy.
Oh, I do.
I can bring you to your uncle. I'm sure you would have much to talk about. He is not far, doing similar things as you see here. There's much knowledge that can be gained from this sort of work, as tasteful as you might find it. Given your current strength, I'm sure he would find it the most interesting meeting. Looks to Serilla.
I'm sure he would. And I'm sure that he'll be glad to hear that I have killed you.
Alright, well, I was going to see if well, Serilla maybe wants to keep this guy around, in which case I would have stayed my beak here. But
well,
no.
you can make it non-lethal. Interrogating is always fun.
Yeah. You know, like jump on his head and try to clever him with the beak and stuff.
Yeah, you just bash him with it.
Yeah, just
Go
headbutt.
I like the idea of going woodpecker mode.
17, 12, those are no-goes. 23, however.
That hits.
For
can always-
minimum damage.
4 damage to the head.
I can always bring him back to life.
The dark side of the life cleric, just resurrect people to question them. But yeah, that's my turn.
All right. His shield is done.
Yep, shield runs out.
Do that actually. I don't know.
You can right click, state, and it's in there as action dodge.
I don't think so.
I've got macros on my own end to toggle those.
No. Oh, well. Let's just read this spell description here because I want to make sure I do this right.
But does Serilla enjoy the deer throwing fire around everywhere?
I do. It's great. I love the bird pecking everything.
As I like to describe the deer to be grossly incandescent. Well, I've got constant light spell running on my horns.
It's true.
Antlers. I mean, I can turn it off, but why would I?
I mean, there's no reason.
You think I'm gonna stealth? That's silly.
Yeah, he will turn to Serilla and cast a spell upon her. It's a charm effect.
Oh, well, I've got advantage on those.
She will cast suggestion.
Wisdom as well, man. You
You did not pick your weakness.
you picked the wrong thing to choose.
He says, "Come with me to your uncle."
23, I think, says no.
Attempting to make you.
Serilla will smile, lower her sword just slightly, and say, "No, I think you will just tell me where he is. You can't push my mind around." As she'll try and pummel him into submission so he doesn't try and do anything more. By missing. And then Simi gets to.
As it says, "I will tell you, but cease this."
You have advantage from the fairy fire, right?
Oh,
Sure,
I
you have
do.
advantage from Verify.
I'm not killing it. This is just like smooshing him.
Knockout.
Yeah. So he's not dead. He's just knocked out. I can bring him around. I swear. I didn't want to kill him. No.
Bleeding. Rose like burning from the...
Yeah. I can bring him back. No problem. Spare the dying as a touch, and then I can heal him up to 1 hit point without a problem. And I think we shall bind him before he regains consciousness.
You'll have to bind him.
I'll
You
bind
can.
him. I shall bind him. I have many rope.
And most importantly, hands.
And thumbs, more importantly.
Not something we have.
No.
I can make the ground shake. I got Fermataji.
You can bind him.
She'll bind him. So he cannot cast spells. I know how that works.
I mean, healing word argues otherwise.
Yeah, but... Man.
He wakes up and says, like, "Powered kill."
Hope not. Christ. That would be terrifying.
It leads to like some automatic backlighting in the form of Fermataji.
Yeah, you can bind the red wizard.
like commentary.
Good.
Nice little
Yeah, we shall do that. Yes, we shall. We shall bind him and wake him after we've taken a minute. Maybe a short rest.
I wish to heal him.
Can we take a short rest, maybe?
I mean, he should stay unconscious that long, right?
I mean, if not, you can cover him in the head again.
Yeah. I mean, spare the dying is he no longer is dying. He's stable. So until he's healed, he's still out. So I can keep him there for a short rest, theoretically, and then at the end just perk him up to wake him up. Is that okay?
Sure. How are you gonna bring him up?
I will cast.
Like magic thing?
Sorry.
Like magic?
Yeah, that'd be my idea. Would just be a healing word on him.
You can take a short rest in here in the gross grave, please. Looks all the bones.
The rest of we both got a channel divinities back.
It's true. Let me just check something real quick. Oh god, okay, yeah.
You just hit dice if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that. No reordering to...
I can't try to spend more because I'm technically at my max already.
Okay, and then I shall use healing word to revive him. Provided that Icarus also does whatever he wants.
Sure, cast a healing word.
Serilla, heal yourself.
I heal myself. Ah.
I will stare at him with glowing lights from my antlers.
As he wakes, we're all surrounding him.
She looks up, sort of frowning, trying to take his hand to his head, but unable to move them away from the buns. Or just looks up at you.
She gives a friendly smile, but with a hint of disdain, and says, "So now that we have you exactly where we want you."
If you wish to speak, there was no need for any of this.
Oh, but there's plenty. You have harmed the forest.
It is wounded from your actions.
This was not always a forest. An elven settlement lay here. I am here to recover what they knew. You should understand. Long lives, experiences of 1,000 years ago. These things can have great value to your people.
Nature in time reclaims all humans.
If you lived long enough, you would know that.
Does not have to be so.
It should be. Nature is the mother to us all, and in turn we should respect her.
Instead, you violated its beauty.
The scar on the land will be reclaimed in time. But that can only happen if you were stopped. Now where is my darling uncle?
Just some ruins to the south. Large elven settlements were there. He is studying them, speaking to the dead that inhabit those places, learning their secrets. He will make your house great once more.
Would I at all know of the elven, or like elven settlements in the area?
The area has had many like old settlements here once. Even just wood elven peoples living in the forest. Further to the north, though, there are many, some of which were part of the old Confederation of Luror before they were burned and destroyed by drow and orchid.
What does the south does? Is there any that really stand out as like potential one?
I mean, there's a couple, yeah. A couple larger ones.
My family will grow strong in its own time, not forced by ruining the forest.
Frankly, I don't know exactly what he's planning. It is not my place. He works with us. In return, we have support. We are not welcome. The City of Silver.
Good.
He shrugs. To be honest, I would rather be home in Thay. This place bores me.
She smiles and says, "What more do you know of my family?"
Not much. Your uncle is in control of it all, pulling the strings. I don't think there is much beyond him of it truly anymore.
And Lord Aederon?
She frowns. I've never met him. I don't know him. There is no interference from him, at least.
She nods slowly and says, "So my uncle has taken control and has rid himself of the
Taken
bother."
control. He's been in your control their entire life. You perhaps were not wise enough to see it, not smart enough. I don't think he considered your loss of great importance to the family. Sure, he might have let you think your parents were in control, such as an illusion. Fobs sitting about. Being fancy, fine noblemen, but getting nothing done. You may be as old as I, or older, but that means nothing here. To their society, you're still a child. If I come with you, I could convince him to take you seriously. You've certainly humiliated me quite a bit here.
She smiles and says, "And why on earth would I want my uncle to take me seriously in a conversation?"
He shrugged. I'm sure he would have much to tell you. He was not planning to induct you or inform you of anything. However, now, given your current ability, you might be of useful to your family. A strengthened ally for me is as good as anything. My superiors might even allow me to come back to them after this defeat if I am able to bring an asset to your family.
Serilla smirks and says, "Or perhaps I could simply let you rot down here. Even make it so that your corpse cannot be brought back. Anything short of a wish."
Sprugs, you could.
She nods and says, "I don't think I need you to have my uncle take me seriously. He couldn't get the drow to kill me."
I do not think he likes the drow. Quite the opposite.
Then it's an odd choice for him to have had a drow expedition ambush me in such a secure area.
Why would you think it was him?
I very much doubt it would be anyone else. He very much disliked me, as you can assume.
Tess shakes his head. Yes. Well, if you have nothing more use of me, then kill me in cold blood. I'll expect nothing less from a Sylvan Ray.
She smiles and looks to her new companions and says, "Would you say it's cold blood?"
The wilds and the woods do not see what you refer to as cold blood. It is the order of nature.
I think he's ugly.
Yes, that as well.
I suppose I could always ask one of the neighbouring trees if it would like some fertilizer. You could bring back some nutrients into the forest.
He looks into her eyes. Holds her gaze.
She smiles. Says something that toys with life as something that is not precious. Something that plays with nature as if it was not something to revere. I don't see anything that wouldn't want to see you gone.
Return him to the earth.
She nods. Says, I think we shall take him to the nearby trees. I believe I can speak to them once and have them deal with him. I need not soil my hands with cold blood. She smiles and she grabs like the bindings of his ankles and starts dragging him away.
Sure.
Undignified
Won't you do
dragging
it?
him.
Sorry?
What does she want to do with him?
I think she will drag him all the way up into the grove and then to the tree line, where she, in fact, has a scroll of speak with plants. But before she uses that, I think she'll just speak to the trees. She has this inkling that most of them are alive anyway, and as they're turning away, she'll just come up to the tree with the necromancer in her hand, and then slump it up against its roots and say, with arms wide open, and say, I bring to you, great trees of the forest, this man who has caused a plight that you shy away from. I would offer it for you to retake what he has taken. Give back to the forest. She kind
You
of
sort of
waits.
creak. Just, stand there, being trees.
She kind of looks to the other two and says, I really did wish that they would just listen and then just take him, honestly. That would have looked a lot cooler. But I guess...
It is not how the trees work. They do as they will. Not in that way.
I know, but it just would have looked cool, right?
You do not need to soil your hands, though. You see the antlers sparks like.
Serilla will back away, bearing like her hands up as very well.
He will continue to look at her.
Because in that sense, unless Serilla stopped him, Elmo is going to just roast him with sacred flames until he's gone. Reclaim him with radiant light.
I don't think she'll stop him, but after it's done, she will do one thing though. She has one level 1 spell remaining. She looks to her friends, to her new friends, and says, "Would you mind if I just commit an hour-long ceremony just before we leave?"
He tilts his head slightly to you.
I think there's two heads being tilted.
I can't in good conscience let any life, even one of someone so vile, be let to be corrupted further. So I would wish to perform a funeral rite upon him. Prevent his soul from being ripped back and forth from the afterlife.
Would you have power to perform such?
She nods. And says, though it would only last perhaps a week, perhaps the trees will take take him in that time, and none would be able to find him from then on.
I mean, do what you have to do. We're just here to help. Although I would suggest burning the corpse.
Because what are you thinking of using? General repose?
No, ceremony. It's in
Ceremony.
Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
What level is that?
Level 1.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, but yeah.
I haven't looked at ceremony at all.
I mean, a funeral rite can be many things in many cultures.
Can't become an undead in the next 7 days, anything short of wish.
Yep. So, I think Serilla will, in fact, cremate him as his funeral rite.
I can produce fire.
Yep. So we shall burn him as Serilla performs her ceremony.
Elmer will assist you using his also own knowledge of religion to do his best to help the Leaky's cause.
Yeah. Providing that his body is returned to the earth and his soul is protected until his body is consumed and cannot be found.
May that of which he is made be used to restore the beauty to the land that he has soiled.
She nods. It says, and with that, I think our job here is done.
I still have a second, third, and fourth level spell. Which is nice. Unfortunately, I don't have any spells that can help the forest.
Do you wish to go somewhere?
I think we will,
No.
we'll head
Maya.
back to the old guy.
Alright.
I think
I'll lead the group back to the clearing.
I think Cerilla's uncle can wait a short moment.
Maybe a long rest, actually.
Yeah.
You take the 20-minute walk back. Oh man, sits here. Actually, he's probably down here now. He sort of has his feet in the brook.
He'll see us approach, wounded in our way. I think I probably have a bird on my head.
She looks back at you.
Darendil.
The forest says you have done what I asked of you. Good work, you two. She looks to the animals.
Elmo bows his head.
Glad I did not send you alone, though. Seems there were more there than we expected.
Serilla nods and says, I am very grateful for their companionship.
I can certainly speak of her prowess and her dedication to protecting the forest.
Yes. Well, I should be going anyway. I suppose you can find your own way out, huh? He stands up and shakes his feet.
Did you not say you provide aid?
Just aid?
Looks just really.
Who's confused? With what?
With finding the lost kingdom,
Oh,
or the hidden kingdom.
kingdom. I suppose. What's the surveillance? Is it a question, though? Hypothetically, first. Sure. If you found out that your origin, the place you came from, your birthplace, was not what you thought it was, and that your history, your origin, the everything about you had some twisted dark end. Would you want to know the full truth about it, or would you rather live continuing to be who you believe you are without knowing?
She seems to ponder for a moment and says, I would rather know and live in the knowledge that I'm a better person with or without it. And that who I am now is not to the dictates of my origin, but the journey I have been through.
Well, I think truth is a bit of an overrated thing, really. People take it so seriously, but a lie can be comforting. To think that you are not what you came from is illogical. Then, still, though, I shall tell you what I know, if you truly wish it. Looks to Darendale. I did not say I would take you to a hidden kingdom. I said I would inform you about Nelrindenvein. It is a word, you see. Not an elven word, no, but a word in Quakoth. Few speak that tongue still. It means freedom, as it were.
Serilla looks to Darendil and then the old man.
He frowns. Yes, I don't think that is true. We need to find the hidden kingdom, though, that goes by the same name as this word you speak of.
Maybe the hidden kingdom is friendship.
You misunderstand me, Mr. Quakoth. There is no kingdom of Nelvin. It is simply the word of freedom in Quakoth. There never has been such a kingdom. Never will be, as far as I know. Why are you looking for this place, anyway? Who told you of such a thing? Darendil frowns and sort of shakes his head. The old man, growing pretty angry, really.
Serilla will look to Darendil and say, perhaps your mind has been warped by what the Drow have done.
They transformed me. If I should remember the name of my kingdom, then how likely is that? Oh, you are not transformed. You are as you were born. You are Quakoth, and you have always been Quakoth. Darendil frowns at the old man and says, I am a prince, and I will not be spoken to in this manner. Serilla, please, this old man clearly knows nothing. The old man looks at Serilla, a little bit confused, a little sad in his eyes. He says, it's the truth. Inconvenient as it is, this Quagoth has always been one, though it seems that he does not understand that.
Serilla slowly nods and says it would appear that the Drow did more than you think, and less than you think.
You don't believe this man, do you? Serilla, we've traveled this far.
She nods.
I may not know where this kingdom, how to find it, but we can't give up, surely.
Sort of turns to Darendil and looks him straight in the eyes and says, I do believe him, Darendil, but it doesn't change anything. You are still my friend.
No. She steps back slightly from her. Stands just You're wrong. She looks at the old man. What did he do to you? What is this? Frowns. Getting into a bestial stance, haunching back. His claws bared. Looking at the animals. Looking around. A little wary. His heart pounding. I am Prince Darendil. He breathes heavily as he growls. And another voice comes from within him, saying, Finally. Finally. She snarls at Serilla. I have been trapped inside the head of this mutt for so long. Traveling under the service of an elf. His claws bared as he brings them down upon her.
Well,
missing her, or rather hitting her armor and scraping off. She looks at her with a toothy grin.
Manako, I would like to have a response to this.
Sure.
Which is I'm going to cast Calm Emotions on Darendil.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a spell I have.
All right.
He must make a DC 15 Charisma save.
Nope.
Then in which case, I suppress strong emotions about him. It doesn't directly... Also, well, if he's hostile towards the creature, it makes him indifferent. He stops being frightened or charmed.
Right.
You know?
So his features sort of grow calmer as he haunches down, begin walking on all fours, lumbering. Yeah. He looks away from Serilla indifferently, walking over. He's beginning to scratch himself with his claws. Removing the few pieces of cloth he has on his body and just throwing them to the side. The old man is still looking on.
The Elmo is clearly concentrating, but tilts her head to the side towards Serilla.
Serilla just watches on. Clearly quite sad.
It seems that some sort of madness has taken your friend. Or rather, that this creature was taken by a madness that made him your friend.
Out of character, one thing I do want to add onto this was we did get told by the elven priestess who was watching over us that all of us were selected because of madnesses we had experienced at some point.
Yeah.
Which, in this case, for Darendil, it seems he believed he was an elf.
Yeah, yeah.
That was his madness. Cool. That they were trying to research.
Interesting. Well, Serilla will look back to the old man and will say, it's a shame. I truly did care for him.
The memories will still be in there, but now they will be perceived by the creature that now inhabits him. Quaggoths and elves, well, they are ancient enemies from even before the drow and the elves.
She nods and says, I feel that our time together has come to an end. Just based on what he just exhibited.
Well, if I may make a suggestion, you, Serilla, you are some sort of princess, right? You look like one.
Thank you, but not quite.
She does not act like one.
It's close enough, perhaps. If your friend Darendil over there wants to be a prince of elves, I mean, that can be arranged, right? Doesn't have to be an elf himself. Maybe that'll get him back to what he was before.
Serilla smiles and says, "Society doesn't quite work like that, Icarus."
How well it should.
That would be if. Elmore tilts his head towards the old man for a moment. From what he has said, that would be a union. That'd be a union unlike any in history.
Yes. The Quaggoths used to live in villages much like elves. A cultured, wise race. The elves, however, did not appreciate the competition and drew them underground. They now live in caves, having forgotten all but the language. They do not know why they hate you, said Mr. Serilla, but they all do. An inherited feeling of betrayal.
She nods and says,
I
"Millennia."
had thought perhaps that two of you walking together would be the beginning of something that might change hatred of ages past. To think that lies can create such comfort.
Serilla nods. Says, "Sadly, I feel that he would not want to be in my company, nor that of my companions."
Next time, it does indeed seems like his mind has been addled somewhat. Perhaps in time, something will change, but for now it seems that he has gone somewhat enraged, having been imprisoned in his own mind for so long. However long you've known him, I suppose, it might have been torturous.
Not to interrupt, but it is now. My charm will end upon him in just a moment. As indeed, calm emotion doesn't have that long of a duration.
Yeah. Serilla nods. Takes a sort of step back. But doesn't
What
draw
do
a
you
weapon.
wish to do? She looks at Serilla.
Preferably, I would like Serilla looks to Derendil and says, "I don't want to hurt him. He has been a loyal and caring friend for so long. I would like him just to be able to roam the forests. Maybe one day he'll come back to the Derendil I know. And then perhaps the forest will spit him back out."
Nonsense. I suggest you make a run for it. In just a moment, he's going to be quite mad. She looks around to animals. You two, make sure she gets out safely.
I can lead her to the edge of the forest.
Take her to where she wishes to go. I will see to this one.
Elmore nods.
Takes up his old gnarled staff.
Cyril will actually just reach out towards Elmo and say, "To the south, please. I think you know where."
Elmore nods and will begin heading off, knowing the forest very well.
As you take off, in the distance behind you can hear the roar as the spell ends and the scraping of branches and leaves and whatnot. As you take off, running south.
Also, I have no regrets about picking up calm emotion.
No.
I thought it could be useful.
So far, they have been very great choices.
Yeah, I have made some great choices of spells, I feel. It's quite nice. I also had Spirit Guardians, which I was planning to use earlier.
It will be half a day's travel to go to the ruins, you think.
probably want to stop a bit before because we don't have the power to probably do anything now.
I think we'll stop perhaps a few hours out. And then set up camp, as it were.
I'll find some shelter for the human.
How does Serilla feel?
Sad. She's lost a friend that she's had since day one.
Back in that cell, locked up, he shared food with us.
Yeah, he starved himself so that we would not starve entirely, and he will always be remembered. A special place in her prayers and memories. He won't be remembered as Derendil the Quaggoth, but he'll be remembered as Derendil the friend.
Elf.
The elf, the friend, the companion. Not as what he may originally have been. But sadly, too many pressing things are too important to let her sadness envelop her, and she presses forth to encounter her uncle.
After possibly a long rest.
After a long rest, that'd be great.
We can take a long rest.
I will find shelter. I'll also, with Elmo's skills with the forest, able to bring back 6 people worth of food even. So
Nice.
Serilla will have... I hope Serilla will not mind the fact that it's almost all fruits and berries.
Alright, that's fine. A lot of elves, or a lot of followers of Maliki are in fact vegetarians because they dislike harming animals of the forest.
As it turns out, Elmo doesn't eat meat. Deers don't do that.
Kind of makes sense, yeah.
So he tends to harvest a lot of fruit, berries, and that kind of stuff.
It works.
I'll take a long rest as well and get my hit points back. Oh, I needed that.
Lovely.
Also, those warding flares were needed.
Oh yeah. To the uncle.
Sure. Traveling further south, you begin to see the odd, white column and such, probably an old way at some point. And indeed, the ruins get tighter and tighter. Not dominating anywhere, but clearly visible as you look through the forests. You well enough find a largest one, somewhat diverse, spread out. And you can indeed go there. Around the blocks, you see big black shadow hounds move back and forth, keeping a distance to you, but clearly watching at all times as you approach. Like the snapping of multiple jaws.
Elmo's glowing
Shadow thing.
antlers probably antagonizing them very slightly.
Mhm. They seem to sort of follow you as you go to the center place. Here, it seems that someone has been keeping an eye on you, because you certainly are not surprising person that you are entering.
Sato is not this little concave's specialty.
No, not really.
A bird that causes fires, a deer that glows, a life cleric who's a noblewoman. So I think Icarus is actually good at hiding.
I don't know. I think so. Small.
You tell me your skills.
He's small, but he's also bright red.
Mm-hmm.
Looking. The man you're looking for, as you can recognize him, having changed not at all in the time you've been,
Elves don't change much.
is standing at the edge of a small pond. Some ruins, faint light glowing around. Around the pond has been placed candles of black wax with a dark sort of flame, almost as if around it sucks in light rather than letting go of it. Next to him is something else, a pale white creature made of sort of like a tree almost growing out of the ground. Spectral, in effect. Pale and white. In the water, as you look down, you can see something illuminated by the lights. Many souls. Ghosts in maybe the dozens. While the shadow hounds sort of keep view situation. He looks up as you approach and does not smile. A man radiating the power and knowledge that Serilla might know had she had about 400 more years of life. Many elves spend a lot of their time just sitting down and reading philosophy. He's not one of them. As he stands formidable and well equipped, magical equipment shining his own enhanced form. He inspects her for a moment. She comes to see him. What is her reaction?
Partly anger, but a lot of it is she's surrounded by so much undeath that has her a bit on edge. But otherwise she's trying to just keep calm. She sort of steps right to the edge, looking at her uncle and then just saying, "Uncle?"
Serilla, say hello to your great-grandmother. She gestures to the white, ghostly thing. Who then gives Serilla an inquisitive look. Had you been a wiser, more bright child, you might have met her earlier. You never were one for study, were you?
She shakes her head and says, "No, I would much rather have helped people."
Chuckles slightly. Yes, very hands-on always. I understand you've grown. I can see it. Full of light and life. The power you've gained, filling the void that our family carries within.
Indeed, someone has to balance everything out.
Looks around. You've come for answers, then? Or do you wish to foolishly throw yourself against me for some old hatred and imagined slights? I am your ally. Remember that. You are the future of our house, though I may not like it. I thought you had been lost in the Underdark, and yet here you are. Perhaps I have been fooled. Have our rivals gone so far as to feign your kidnapping, or have you truly returned from the dark abyss below?
Oh, I returned. I met the Queen of Rot. In fact, interacted with her. I have seen entire civilizations fall, and have helped keep one standing.
Raise an eyebrow. So much in such a short life. I do not detect deception in you, child. Perhaps you shall have your adult name soon. A real one. You know of the threat from below, then?
She nods.
I have sensed it for many years now. The old texts speak of such knowledge, The drow, having attempted to harness demonic power, bound to go wrong, of course, but they will always try. What do you think, then? Looking around. Do you think we are prepared to take them on? You've seen them down there, if you understand. Perhaps my preparations shall be brought to bear.
She looks a bit sad as she looks at him and says, I don't think you're prepared enough.
I had hoped it would take longer. Our alliance with Thay, however, shall prove useful. They have much power to draw upon, and they have no more interest in the world ending than we do. She looks to a creature next to him, sort of tilts her head. She is not very talkative, but her knowledge is vast. Did you know our family once owned this place? We were among the most exalted. Though it is dangerous to get lost in the path, so it looks away from her again. I should say hello from your parents. They do not know that you disappeared. I thought I would spare them that grief.
They still live then?
He nods as there's no reason to do anything to them. It is my brother.
She nods.
Family, Serilla, is all we have in life.
She kind of gestures around and says, it would appear you have a bit more than just family.
Oh no, you don't understand. I've been gathering them. All distant relations in some way or another, all with knowledge that can aid us. We shall stand greatly again, but first we shall deal with this incursion. It is a troublesome problem, but with it we can win much esteem. They will scoff at how we do it. However, you and I know that sometimes you can use dark means to accomplish great things, no? The dwarves imprison eternal elemental gods to forge their magical weapons. We harness the Thayan magics to speak to ancestors to recover ideas and thoughts and magic once lost to us. All in order to do good for the world.
Sort of like shakes her head a bit and says, I don't think Thayan magic will be the answer, Uncle. The demons below, the Demogorgon, the Queen of Rot, everything. They are here. Their bodies are here. They ripple reality around themselves, and some shambling corpses or ethereal ghosts of anyone, ancestor or not, is not going to be able to hold back the tide on their own. We need more.
Yes, we do. It is true, all of it. There is in the text, so looks upon, in the memories. This is not the first time the demons have invaded. In the olden times, they were banished to the abyss with a ritual that I am working to recover. When my work there is done, we should be able to send them back, force them to leave this plane. Not for good, perhaps, but after that we might take care of the drow who caused them to come here. What do you say, niece? Reaches out a hand. Can you abide by my methods in order to save all you care about? Surely your god must have some respect for that goal, no? If you survived the Underdark, you must have taken stranger deals than this one. If you wish to leave, I will not harm you. You're family, after all. If you think that I was the one who arranged your capture, no, I am afraid it was our rivals. I have taken care of them, though following your trail proved a heavier time investment than I had available to me. Saving the world takes precedence, you understand.
She nods and says, I would just have one caveat to all of this. Is that if I did let you do this, if I did let you aid us, because you are right, I have taken some horrible deals that perhaps someone in my same connection with my god would have scoffed at and fought against. But great times cause for great measures. But I would not have our lands, and in fact this forest, be blighted because of what we have to do. There is such a thing as a cost too great. There's no point in living in a world, if we can save it, that is already destroyed.
You have gained much ability, much power. Perhaps I can make an exception then. I am almost done here. He looks to the many ghosts in the water. The ancestor. There are other ruins outside this place, this forest I can enter. However, they are more visible, and as you know, the other families would use any excuse to bring us down on the step of the ladder. Something that your father and mother would find most distressing. And I am, family man. Though I do not care too much for personal glory. No. However, as you say, many of your gods' people would frown upon such a thing. There are other sources of the power you use. Perhaps I might introduce you to such a thing. If you would do that to save the world, it would be a noble thing, would it not? You can always return to your old ways when the deed is done. No one has to know. I'm sure it would make aiding me easier, and we could spare this forest any more grief as well. It looks to the deer and the birds.
She kind of narrows her eyes and says,
You could be somewhat of a martyr, though death is not necessary.
She narrows her eyes and says, who?
He sort of looks at her. Taking a moment to think. There are many who would accept one such as you. Your gifts appear to be greater than I had initially thought. You did not strike me as someone with any particular greatness for any particular aspect, truly. You spend your time on charity and the like. Not something that would save anything, but I suppose I did not tell you of the risks involved in my work. There is gods that have power we would need. The ability to speak to those who have passed without needing to conjure them.
I could do that.
I am aware of the name, for you might shy away from it. The name, however, is mere cool. He is the harbinger of the dead, their master. Opposed, of course, to the demons, especially demons who utilize undead creatures. If you were to do this, then we could leave this place at once, induct you into the trials, and then we would need a mere couple of weeks to learn what we need to know. At least to learn whatever this temple might have held for us. I do not practice the divine magics myself. With someone who does, someone of a reasonable strength, someone I could trust. Looks at Serilla, almost looking greedy at the thought. We could advance my research in many years. Perhaps even within a single year, I could find the answer to these problems. I understand that you would find the work distasteful, but it is all for the greater purpose, is it not? Afterwards, you can repent, I'm sure.
Serilla just slowly shakes her head and says, I wouldn't turn my back on a goddess of good for a god of evil. And even if I were to tell you I could speak with the dead anyway, that I didn't have to turn to an evil god just to speak to them.
He frowns. One thing is speaking to them, another is mastering their existence and minds. He looks to the ancestor next to him. He gives you like a comforting smile. I had hoped you would assist me. I will still offer you my aid, though the ritual will take much longer to complete should you not support me directly.
She nods and says, I cannot in good conscience aid you, but neither in good conscience can I prevent you, whether I could or not.
You know. Then I suppose we shall see each other in the future. Do not attempt to bring this up to the Silver Council. I have already attempted, and they have scoffed and discussed the politics and budgets involved. It seems that the problems of the Underdark are not the problems of the surface to them.
Do you have anything that would aid us in convincing others? We do not plan to just go to the Silver Council.
I shall speak to my allies. They have much influence and much power to lend to such a cause. You, I imagine, have ways of contacting me, do you not?
She nods.
I have similar. When you require my aid in this matter, or when you change your mind, feel free to contact me. You are my niece, smiling. And for what it's worth, I am proud of what you have become. Greater than your parents, for sure.
She nods. It says, when the time comes that all of this is over, I hope there'll be a chance we can all see eye to eye.
He smiles and says, I think it will be over soon. Our lives are long. We will see it to the end. And I know we will speak again. Should you perish, I will find a way. Now, I shall finish my work here and then be out of your forest. It looks to the deer. I hope that will suffice. I shall take these spirits with me. They shall not bother you anymore.
Oh, you better. They are ugly.
Very well.
Simply do not see the beauty in them. Just sort of running a hand over the ghostly figure next to him's face.
No, we do not. But if you do plan to leave, then we will not stop you.
Very well. I suppose you should take my niece to the edge of the forest. They can be confusing for those uninitiated.
Elmo looks to Serilla.
She just waits a couple of moments, then looks down to the spirits, looks to the spirit next to her uncle, and then looks back to him and says, "Goodbye, uncle," and turns away.
I shall hear from you then, niece.
One day, when the
She
time is
watches
darkest.
She watches her away.
Elmo will very slowly lead Serilla away.
The shadow hounds following you until you leave the ruins.
Judging by slight flaring on the light on Elmo's horns, he doesn't seem to be in the best mood from this. The taint of darkness over this place is not comforting to him.
Zerilla will try and comfort him, saying, "They will leave. They will leave soon enough."
Their very presence harms the forest around them.
I agree. But I don't think, even with all three of us, we could stop him.
I understand, but it does not change what I feel. The pain that runs through the forest and through me.
She nods. The forest will recover. And I think so will you.
And what about yourself?
I have a lot to think about. In fact, it would seem that the uncle I thought tried to kill me did not. In fact, tried to save me. Whether I could believe everything he says is a matter entirely different. But for now, it would seem that the world has another ally with good intentions, even if the means are not so black and white.
Hemot snorts a little, but continues leading you. Presumably, Serilla wanting to be led to the Pacific edge of the forest somewhere.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're gonna leave her.
Yeah.
Being led out to the forest with Icarus and Elmo.
Into her downtime here.
Wherever Serilla decides to be let out.
I imagine at the northwest of the high forest, closest to Silvery Moon. After all, if her parents are alive, then maybe she can drop in and say hello.
Yeah. Maybe catch a bite to eat.
Yeah, enjoy some luxury for a short time.
Also, apparently, you have a nuclear alarm going off in your building.
Yeah.
So this has been an adventure.
Possession. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Even the two of you who got to play alternative characters.
I love playing Elmore.
I loved Icarus.
It was quite fun.
No, I enjoyed it.
I actually really enjoyed what we ended up setting up there between like you having this like you just having your just having Icarus just let out like these things while Elmo's trying to be reserved and wise.
Oh yeah, we were like polar opposites. It was pretty great.
It was great.
It was pretty good. I did enjoy it. It's definitely something different.
Icarus, the bird monk.
I like by the way how that you were the monk, yet you were the least reserved of the two of us.
Yeah. I felt very hero-like fighting next to you two. Do you know what I mean? Like, normally I don't feel that way, especially with fucking Liam around. My god.
You were the star in this case.
But yeah,
you have like twice as much hit points as us.
Yeah, I felt like when you're playing an RPG and you show up and you get those NPC followers for a short time. Felt like that. Yeah, it was great.
I think that was the goal.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I loved.
You were the main character of the story.
Yeah, I loved that I could just destroy all of those skeletons. So
it's not something
satisfying.
even with my channel divinity. It's not something I could do.
No.
I'm not strong enough.
You might not have kept both channel divinities.
No, I could have used it, but you know, I was pretty certain there was going to be undead, and I was hedging my bet.
Fair move. It was a fair move saving it.
Yeah, I was hedging my bet that I was going to be able to use it. Oh, that would have been quite tough if I hadn't had it.
Yeah, Manaki came to us basically like 2 days ago and said basically that okay, this is what's going to happen. You need to create characters. Here is how you create an awakened animal.
So good, and I love.
Basically, we had a level based on basically what kind of animal we chose. So the higher level animal we picked, the less character levels we got.
Interesting.
You're in a bird. So we had
the other two options I considered were barbarian badger and like brown bear paladin.
Unfortunately, mechanically it didn't work out. But at one point I considered hyena bard.
Yeah, bard just didn't work because no animal has higher than 10 charisma.
We also had the option of playing awakened plants, which we didn't, but we had the option.
Yeah, but
Be interesting.
it would have been a tree or a shrub. Like, I don't know. I just didn't have any good ideas.
You could have been an amazing strawberry bush.
It would have been
A monk shrub.
What about an owlbear? One of you could have been an owlbear.
They're monstrosities.
Ah, damn, that's true.
In my case, I am a 7th level light cleric.
Yep, I noticed the light. Yeah.
I played grossly incandescent, being my character type.
That was pretty good.
Then you were what, a 6th level monk?
A 6th level Sun Soul monk. Yes, nice and fiery.
It turned out very interesting that the two animals were both very fire based.
It was pretty cool. A bit weird in a forest.
You know, it's some parts of the forest do require a cleansing fire to let them regrow.
It's true.
Radiance is strong against the dead.
And most certainly, I brought radiance to the table.
Oh yeah.
And Serilla was tank.
I do have to say the thing with Darren though, even though I reckon someone could have seen it coming, did catch me off guard.
Yeah, okay, so I had half expected it.
Yeah.
I had never believed that Darren Deal was actually transformed. There was always part of me that didn't quite register it. That being said, though, I didn't quite expect I didn't expect the full story here.
Yeah. I just thought, honestly, I thought he was
I knew
just
something
lying.
was off.
I thought he was just lying, but I thought that he was actually an elf, but he was using the "I'm a prince" to get us to.
Yeah, if that was the outcome, I would have said I called it in that kind of regard.
Yeah.
But I did not consider the fact that his madness, that the reason he was being brought down there,
was that he's actually
Was that
a
he
Fargoth.
believed he was an elf?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it.
I so wish Gesh had been here for this though. Like, this
Sorry,
been, like,
Gesh is with Liam and Cinder right now.
See, being mad is not always a bad thing.
It's true.
That's good, man. It's worth it sometimes.
It's true.
We shall remember Darendil.
You will.
And I shall remember his critical multiplier he gave me.
Not betrayed her goddess, but she has certainly compromised her own beliefs.
I was surprised at that.
It
Too.
wouldn't
Honestly,
be the
I have no
first
idea what
time.
I would have picked.
It wouldn't be the first time though.
Yeah,
Come
Serilla and perhaps you as a player, Halldamir, you seem to me to be like, you really hate confrontation. You always look for a compromise.
I'm that type of person naturally, but Serilla, in this case, is the type of person that if there is any good to come from anything, it's better to strive from that for that rather than just destroy something because it could be evil. In the case of the Shadow Druids, they obviously tainted the area. In the case of the wizard in the underground, he was desecrating corpses and their bones. But then her uncle laid it out.
He was also willing to compromise himself.
Yeah, he laid it all out. He said he was doing this for the greater good, although his methods are shady. It's no different to Gesh, really. He worships an evil god, or maybe not worships, but he gains his power from an evil god.
Oh yeah.
And if she can tolerate him, then she can tolerate her uncle, who's bringing a lot to the table. It's something that any like I said, or like Serilla said, any cleric of Maliki that hasn't gone through the trials and tribulations that our party has probably would have tried to kill him. But because Serilla has been through what some people...
in and out of the abyss.
Yeah, literally a sort of hell. Has had to compromise so much that it really isn't that surprising. That, to me at least, that she would take this as a, okay, your methods aren't exactly what I would prefer, but if at the end of the millennia I'm sat there as an old woman and the world isn't destroyed, I'm happy.
Yeah, the parallels to how Gesh thinks was certainly there. Although I do have to say on that note, Gesh tries very hard not to compromise anyone who isn't himself. He doesn't actively recruit and says, "Join me, for we can make the world a better place." This guy did.
Yeah.
Though in fairness, he was also willing to compromise what he was doing when he was doing that. So
Yeah.
And I only asked what god he was thinking of because I was just curious, really. More than anything. There wasn't a hint of me going, oh yeah, maybe. It was just, what god does he mean?
It's fair to know what you had in mind.
Yeah. I want to know everything. And he's only neutral.
I don't know which god in particular he was actually. I didn't.
Lord of Bones.
Things related to death are usually neutral.
Yeah, it's very neutral.
Like death is just a thing, so
it's a part of nature.
It's like literally the opposite of what. Well, it's technically a part of what Serilla is all about.
Because which god was it?
Murkul, the god of the dead. He's a neutral evil.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The neutral evil god of the dead, Lord of Bones, the Reaper.
Yeah, he,
his worshippers are undertakers.
It's much better than a lot of the evil gods out there.
As far as evil gods go, I rate him higher than most.
This very much has been a campaign where we choose the lesser evil a lot.
It really, really is. I mean,
you can't enter the abyss and not compromise. I think is an issue.
No, definitely not.
Also, a bit of a tangent, but that thing that I think you said, DDS, that all the people who were with us in the prison were there because they were mad in some way. That really that blew my mind because it's true.
That is because we got that was hinted to us by the Drow priestess we spoke to when we left to go up to the surface. She hinted that to us, and then this here with Darendil has confirmed it. That's the reason. All of us were touched by the taint of madness at some point. We might not know what it was, but we have been. And that's the reason the Drow wanted us in particular. What made us so special.
So the only person then, well, the only two people really who I'm not sure what kind of madness that could be, would be Ginger and Rond.
Ginger is a chronic
I mean, he's
gambler.
a betting addict, but is that?
That's not madness.
That's not really mad.
I was
Not in
say
this
it's a
sense.
type of madness.
Because we had Topsy and Turvy, which their madness, of course, was their kind of like wear transformations and that
They're
kind of
were
stuff.
rats. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like, Mr. Drow person had a mushroom in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he was literally mad.
Darendil believed he was an elven noble.
And what's with what's her name? Dwarf woman.
Yeah,
I don't know what's wrong with her either, but there's something apparently. Though then again, given her her past fighting history, it's very possible the mist got to her in some way as well.
yeah, because she did fight.
Probably.
in
Because
that area.
she was fighting in like the mist-filled areas, so it's entirely possible. And of course, what affected all the PC before we begin, other than Gesh, it's not entirely clear.
I mean, Gesh has many options there.
But the point stands is everyone supposedly had been afflicted.
It's very interesting.
And as far as we can tell NPC-wise, this looks like it might be true.
You know, in universe, being a PC is probably a madness.
That is true.
Yeah,
We act in very strange ways.
we do.
I mean, this one is. This one is
Complete
clearly.
disregard for pain.
I mean, Serilla clearly thinks she's some kind of Disney princess because she's talking to two animals right now.
It's true. She is a Disney
Yes,
princess. What are you gonna say?
She walks, Icarus sort of sews a dress onto her. While singing.
I have thaumaturgy. I can do tricks with that to help her
Yeah.
in my portfolio.
I'm glad I fleshed out Serilla a bit more a few sessions ago.
I had the exact same thing, which I'm glad I sent.
Because Xanathar's guide actually has a really good role on these tables for background.
Oh, interesting.
And I used a lot of those to get.
I haven't looked at Xanathar's guide much.
I think you should look at them because I got some really interesting ones, including the Serilla encountering magic as a child, seeing her uncle conjuring that demon.
Interesting.
So
I can also happily say, as a flight cleric, I used my spell list properly. I used three of my domain spells: Fairy Fire, Scorching Ray, and Fireball. All domain spells.
all worked very well.
I also used Calm Emotion, which was an amazing pick.
I don't tend to use my domain spells very much.
Mass Healing Word. That was pretty good.
Yeah, Mass Healing World, Cure Wounds. I mean, those are all domain spells for you, right?
No, Cure Wounds is a domain spell. Mass Healing Words isn't.
I have no idea. What is your... Let me have a look at what your...
Life is
spells are.
Bless, Cure Wounds, Lesser
use
Restoration,
Bless?
Spiritual Weapon. You definitely use that.
Definitely use that. Yeah.
That's...
Beacon of Hope and Revivify. You probably have Revivify just always, so...
I've been working
Well,
with
you
Spring, so
always-
she
you
does
have
always
to.
have it.
Yeah, okay.
Unless yeah, I mean, you do use your domain spells a decent bit.
Yeah, not as much
Well-
as I could, but
Well, that's true. You don't use... That's true. You use Lesser Restoration and Cure Wounds.
yeah.
A few
I
times.
don't use Death
Quite a lot.
Ward, and I definitely don't use Guardian of Faith.
Death Ward has uses. Guardian of Faith we haven't seen. I actually don't know what Guardian of Faith does even. It was on my spell list.
You
Yeah,
plonk it
people
down.
You set a guardian somewhere, and he hits everyone who gets close to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Death Ward, I don't
So I have-
remember exactly what it does, but I think that's a pretty good spell.
If you die, you get to just be on one hit point.
Yeah, I had Guardian of Faith as well as a
No
spell,
matter
which
death.
which comes-
Disintegration, if you're deathwood, you're just on 1 hit point.
Anything.
Yeah,
If
And it's
anything
not
kills.
concentration.
No,
No.
you just put it on yourself, and then there you go. You don't die.
I would have that active all the time.
It's a 4th level spell slot though.
is true.
Yeah,
It's
but-
very valuable.
Next level.
What's
I
worse,
will.
one less 4th level spell or
Yeah.
dying?
It's true. Next level, it will be on me. Every day. Because
Yeah, in
if I go down, there is a very high likelihood the party dies.
it's true because then that's reordered up to heal you with in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like 3.5 where some of the domain spells were like, protect plant from ice. And you're like,
That's
this
true.
is the worst. Like, I will never ever use this.
Yeah.
These are all like good picks. I think. Like, there's
my
not,
ones
there's
are
not a
awful.
useless spell amongst them.
Oh yeah, my light ones are also great. Burning Hands, Fairy Fire, Flaming Sphere, Scorching Ray, Daylight, Fireball, Guardian of Faith, Wall of Fire.
It's very
All
general.
useful.
Useful spells.
Well,
different ones. I mean,
the 5th.
animal friendship, speak with animals from nature. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know about those ones.
Yeah, nature I have a problem with because nature seems to have a lot too much stuff that is situational. But
Well,
the Child of Divinity is also like you charm plants and animals nearby. And it's like,
Yeah.
is that really that useful?
the 5th level domain spells for me are incredible. Mass Cure Wounds, which is amazing. Everything within 60 feet heals 3d8 plus all my shit, which is just so damn much.
Your blessed healer at level 6, I think, is the big thing that really helps you though.
At level 6, I can't even remember
Level
what
6
that does.
power.
Oh yeah, god yeah, yeah that does
You get 2 plus a spell level and extra hit points.
so much. And then I get raised dead, which I'm never going to use.
I sort of forgot.
You
about
say you're
my-
never going to use it.
my
Well,
domain spells.
I'm just
5th
saying-
level, I would get Dominate Person.
I'm
Yes.
I'm just saying, you getting a spell to raise undead, or not to raise undead, to raise dead player characters might be useful. It could could come up.
yeah.
We've already had Gesh nearly be dead.
It's true.
Jordan has been nearly dead a few times.
This is true. I'm trying my best to avoid it, but I've gotten close as well once. Liam's the only one who hasn't gotten that close to dead.
I suppose raised dead, yeah. I suppose it's... Yeah, okay.
Like, to be able to resurrect people is never a bad thing to have on your spell list.
Yeah, and it's within 10 days, so that's good. Do I need the whole body?
For raised dead, I think so.
For raised dead, you return a dead body you touch to life. It has been provided it's been dead no longer than 10 days. It must be both willing to come back and at the liberty to rejoin. Could you return that 1 hit point?
Oh, doesn't restore missing body parts.
You
No.
need to-
It will close all wounds, but it doesn't restore body parts. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Then, like, resurrection, whatever.
If it's missing its head, it automatically fails.
Mhm.
Or missing
it's-
its heart. Or any...
If it's missing a vital organ, it dies instantly.
Its appendix is fine.
It can lose it. I mean, that it can also be it can also be missing like one of its kidneys.
Hardcore fantasy surgery. Just kill them, do the operation, and then,
I mean, if you do the operation on someone, then it's fine, right? They've got the organ.
cut out the thing you need to get out, and then you can bring them back.
Coming back from the dead is an ordeal. They take a -4 on everything until they finish a long rest.
Yeah, I can kind of understand
And each
that.
time they finish a long rest, it reduces the penalty by -1. So basically, for the next 4 days, they're going to be hurting.
I do get Commune, which is a very strong spell.
Manaki, do you want your angels tell me something? Yeah, maybe.
Why are you working with a necromancer?
Uh-huh.
Well, you can end the spell at any time, so if she asks that, you just cut the line.
It's just like hanging up. Oh, sorry, the line's really bad. Oh, I can't.
I'm just saying, hanging up on a god by saying their own line is bad. That they grant you.
Running out of spell slots. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
But I know how many spell slots you have. I give them to you.
I'm sorry. Spell casting in the Underdark really sucks. I'm sorry. Oh god. Well, thank you for the session. It's been wonderful.
I hope you enjoyed your session to be a Disney princess.
It's been great. I loved it. Every minute of it.
'Cause I enjoyed playing my role in your Disney story. I think Sheep did as well.
We'll see if we have a session next week. Maybe it depends on how if you join us such around at that time.
Yeah.
We said he might be, so.
Yeah, Sheep, did you enjoy being part of the Disney story?
I did, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna stop the stream and the recording and then go to bed. So.
What?
Good idea.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. It's been wonderful. Bye bye.